they played, to their strengths. They dominated around the footy with the clearance. Their big tools got involved. And
contested possession, 51. Plus 51.
Yeah, and
it was extraordinary.
I think the Giants had 86, which is the lowest all year for any club that's
they didn't
played
turn up.
No,
I hate all those sayings, we didn't come to play. We didn't turn up. They actually didn't turn up. It was extraordinary.
Which is interesting because Adam Kingsley, they give him credit. They've been a pretty resilient club. Even this year, they've lost 3 or 4 players, but they're still fronted up. I think they've won 8 of their last 9, so they've had that consistency. I think he's
they'd had 6 in a row.
Yeah, he's a no-nonsense coach. So, generally, I'm a big believer that the teams to start to take on the personality of their coach after a little while. But that was as far away from Adam Kingsley as you would ever going to see, because that was non-competitive.
Most of us think, the Giants, they get their act together. They're a real red-hot chance to win the flag.
Their best footy is just about league's best.
But they're so hot or they're so cold.
Yeah.
Even in a game, there's not that level of consistency.
Well, we saw it the week before.
Against the Swans.
Yeah.
So I think that the depth of their ball-winning capabilities in the middle of the ground, if Tom Green doesn't have a ripping game when they're without 1 or 2 other midfielders. I know Canelio's come back into the team, but Kelly steps out. They're just imbalanced. Losing Peatling, Cumming, it was more than what they had actually. Yeah. I mean, at one stage, who was the kid who came in number 13, the last night's sub, I'll get to it in a second. He came in and he's expected to run with Bond. Now, that boy last year's probably 8th in line for one of the 4 rotational positions through the midfield. Probably 8th. And yet he's expected this year, because of those 3 who pad out the midfield, he's expected to run with Marcus Bontempelli.
Yeah.
That shows their lack of depth in the midfield if it doesn't go the right way.
Yeah, Buckley was a big loss too. He's had an outstanding year. But
he's gone he's gone for 4 weeks. So is Kelly with calf. So they got a few problems down there into the ground. Before we take another break, lads, just on the other end of the scale, Norton 5, and hasn't he blossomed since Darcy's come back into the team? No need for Jamara Ugle-Hagan now, surely, in that setup? No.
Yeah, hard to see why or how it works with him in there. So, why upset the apple cart?
If you're being honest now, they want him to get back. They want him to play footy at VFL level and kick goals. They're not going to bring him in, and they're plumping up the stock for the market.
Is there a team that would be prepared to trade a first rounder for Jamara Ugle-Hagan?
Yeah, this is all about due diligence, isn't it? You've really got to do that really strongly, but there's a lot of teams that need forwards. The key forwards in particular, and he's a talent.
It's worth a risk, isn't it? It's game on at Hyundai with offers like the dynamic Tucson from $39.99 drive away. This is the Friday night shout on AFL Nation for Liquorland. Cheers to the footy, cheers Liquorland, choose to drink wise. And as we go to the break, let's get an odds update thanks to PointsBet.
An odds update brought to you by PointsBet. Built different.
Jules to Soup here with an odds update for PointsBet. Another huge game tonight that will help shape the final makeup of the top 8 and potentially the top 4. Now, Adelaide at home have been immense this year and are going into this one a solid $1.44 favourites with PointsBet up against a Hawks side who are going with a win over Carlton last round, but it wasn't overly convincing at times. Now, interestingly, the last time Adelaide lost, it was against the Hawks, but that game was in the wet down at UTAS in Launceston, so it's pretty different to playing at home at Adelaide Oval. So, with the home ground advantage, your first leg of the multi will be Adelaide head-to-head. Now, no one loves playing at Adelaide Oval more than the Crows' underrated star, Ben Keays. He's booted 2+ goals in 7 of his last 20 at the venue, 20 goals in total. At 2.10 for 2+ goals with PointsBet, this will be the second leg. Now, lastly, if Adelaide are going to win, their inspirational captain, Jordan Dawson, is likely to dominate like he has in many games so far this year. Now, he isn't a massive accumulator of the ball, has actually struggled a bit against the Hawks in recent matches, but To turn that around tonight, we think he will, and he'll go 25 plus, which is paying 2.10 with PointsBet. So here's the final multi. The Crows head-to-head. Ben Keys to continue his great form at home with 2+ goals, and Jordan Dawson, the captain, 25 plus disposals. The price, $4.75. Lastly, all the player stats mentioned here were powered by StatMate, your best mate when it comes to footy stats to help you build your multi. Should be a cracker this one, but the Crows have been dynamic at home all season. Only lost once, and I think they'll be too good for the Hawks here, but should be a great game. The Crows by 19 points. For all your AFL markets, get onto the PointsBet app.
Brought to you by the PointsBet AFL Tracker. PointsBet, built different. You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. This is the Friday Night Shout on AFL Nation for Liquorland. Whatever the occasion, Liquorland will bring the drinks. Cheers, Liquorland. Choose to drink wise.
Love your home more with Beaumont's. Laminate water-resistant floors from just $31.95. Hybrid only $29.95 per square metre. Great floors, great prices. Plus, we'll help with installation. Participating stores only.
The Big Arch has arrived at Macca's. 2 100% Aussie beef patties, 3 layers of cheese and tangy Big Arch sauce. It's big. New Big Arch for big Macca's hunger. Available after 10:30am.
G'day, it's Jason Cunningham. If you work on the tools, engineering or in any specialist trade and you need genuine tools as opposed to a sausage sizzle, then come and do business with A&A Industrial Supplies. Family owned for generations, they have all your nuts, bolts and fasteners. Not to mention cutting tools, welding equipment and everything a real tradesperson needs. Just like our resident handyman, the Ox. Yeah, maybe not. A&A Industrial Supplies, London Drive, Bayswater. Ask for Brad for the SEN Deal of the Week.
Experience the epitome of luxury and performance at Audi Barry Burke. They're committed to delivering exceptional service and premium Audi vehicles from the sleek A3 to the powerful RS range. Visit Justin and the team or visit audibarryburke.com.au. LXCT 7522.
Need truck parts? Get expert service from the team that knows their stuff at Truckline. Whether you've got a Japanese, North American or European truck or trailer, we've got the parts to get you back on the road in no time. From hoses to transmissions and everything in between, we'll get you sorted fast. Truckline keeps Australia's trucks moving. Find your local store at truckline.com.au.
Footy fans, need to stock up on drinks for game day? Liquorland will bring the drinks and great value, whether you're hosting your mates or celebrating a win. And here's a game changer. With our price match promise, if you find a lower price, we'll match it. Just head in store and ask our team today. To the footy. Cheers. Liquorland. Offer redeemable on in-store purchases only. Excludes 6-bottle discount offers and other purchases. Limits and T's and C's apply. Visit liquorland.com.au for full T's and C's. 18 plus only. Choose to drink wise.
OMF's winter sale is on. Time to get comfy. Buy any base, bed frame or bedroom item and get up to 60% off selected mattresses. Like the BC7 mattress, Queens for under $900. Or the Refresh mattress, Queens for under $1,400. This week only, get an extra 10% off selected already reduced mattresses. Plus, stay warm with great deals on Manchester and bedroom furniture. Don't miss out. Sale extended at OMF, the home of mattress, bedroom, bedding and furniture.
G'day, Merv Hughes here. New Farm's been there for Aussie growers for 100 years. Through prosperity and heartache, drought and flame. Through the unprecedented and through innovation. New Farm's high-quality crop protection products are formulated right here in Australia because Aussie growers are tougher together through choosing Australian. New Farm understands local conditions and the importance for Aussie growers to have the right products at the right time. New Farm, Australian through and through. To learn more, visit newfarm.com.au.
If I asked you to go outside now, grab a shovel and hack through your internet or water connection, would you do it? Of course not. It'd cost you a fortune to fix, plus being without internet or water for hours or days would drive you mad. Yet digging without searching before you dig online first is a gamble. Or worse, if you strike a gas or electricity main. Before every job, search before you dig online every time. and never dig blind.
Roofing and Sheet Metal Centre can laser weld stainless steel in gauges down to 1.2 mil. Stainless steel has a longer lifespan, is more resistant to corrosion, looks great, and you can get all of that for less. Visit rscentre.com.au/stainless steel.
This is the Friday Night Shout on AFL Nation for Liquorland. Whatever the occasion, Liquorland will bring the drinks. Cheers, Liquorland. Choose to drink wise.
And welcome back to AFL Nation for 4 and 20 Pies, Australia's original fan food, and Elders. Looking for an agent you can rely on? Trust the team at Elders Real Estate. We're at Adelaide Oval tonight, the big game between the Crows and the Hawks. It is a sellout, and the subs have just been announced. Before we introduce our next special guest, Chase Jones, the sub for the Crows, and James Warple, the sub for the Hawks. Is that a bit of a surprise to you?
It is a bit of a surprise to me. They must assume that Will Day can do a whole lot more this week than he did last week.
Or maybe Connor Nash as well gets a stopping role on Dawson, which you got to take one out to put one in effectively, don't you?
Tim Silvers is the CEO of the Adelaide Crows. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me, Quarters. It's against my old club.
Yes.
So looking forward to a good battle tonight. The Hawks have had the wood on us for a period of time, and we've got a sellout, which is, apart from a showdown, we're trying to work out when there was the last time
we had
a showdown, a sellout for a showdown. So we think it's around 2017. So it's it just shows play good footy, get a Friday night national free-to-air fixture, they come.
And Mark was saying before that he believed it was about 1,000 members that have upgraded this week alone. Is that true?
Yes, that is.
Recently?
It's been, we've been on this sort of journey all year about this 1 week at a time, the process. What we're happy with, and we've got to stick to that. That's what's made us successful this year. But what we're happy with is our members and our fans, they're reveling in it. Like there's just so much excitement. We have sold thousands of these gold upgrades this week. It's been...
Well, that's excellent.
Wild.
Well, let's go back to the late last year when you got beaten embarrassingly by Richmond, who weren't going all that well at the time either. Pretty low point for the club, and lots of reviews and finger pointing and axe wielding threatened and all that sort of stuff, not necessarily within the club but from outside. How quickly things can turn around. Can you talk us through the summer and what's caused the incredible turnaround?
Look, I can't pinpoint exactly, but it's... I think back to that period, and it was 14 months ago, and it was just hard. Like we set expectations and we didn't deliver on it, and the pressure, especially in this town, was just intense. But we still had belief in what we were doing, and we wanted to stick with a plan. We thought we had the right people, and we had to. Sometimes you got to have patience in these rebuilds, and fans and supporters, myself included, we don't have a lot of it, but we knew we were on a good thing, so we stuck by our people. That's what I'm most proud of. And then when we got to the summer, we probably, when we looked at our list management, we found ourselves last year, we were still the second youngest team in the comp for a lot of it. And we're like, how does this happen when you're building and we've gone draft and develop? These guys should be getting older. But we thought we needed age, games and experience to add to our list. And we got 3 players that have just... They're better than depth players. They've just been awesome both on and off the field, and we've been a bit injury free this year. And I had great faith in Matthew Nix. We brought in Murray Davis as our coaching director from Brisbane, who'd gone through something similar. So we're set up well for this year, and I'm pleased, not satisfied. I'm pleased with how we performed this year.
The noise was pretty intense. There for a while. Did you ever? You don't have to say the names. Did you ever get wobbly?
No, I didn't. There's a few sleepless nights. There's definitely sleepless nights, and the pressure from the media in this town, and even when you're walking down the street, the people are unhappy. But if you believe in what you're doing, I had strengthened that, so I believed in it, and I believed in our people, and things have turned around. But we still haven't achieved anything, so I don't want to. All the pats on the back, all the pats on the back, like the last couple of weeks have been great, and we've got a premiership player on our list, Alex Neil-Bullen, at the end of a game a couple of weeks ago, and we're sort of celebrating the win in some sort of style, I guess. He did sort of just.
He's a good citizen, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a great speaker. He says, "Oh, enjoy the moment, but just remember, we haven't achieved anything yet." So I'm learning from him.
So we're always we're always trying to get better. Have you sanctioned any of your staff to speak to Nazaya Wanganeen-Millera?
Have I sanctioned? Well, what I like to do as leader of the footy club, I don't like to speak about players from other clubs. That's just my take. And we're talking about what we've done. We went to the draft for 4 years and we got the best kids we could find, and that's going to be the core group that's going to take us forward. And what we've done in the last couple of years is now we've got to pick the eyes out of good players that will top us off and hopefully make us a premiership, get the premiership that we want. So that's what we're doing.
So you haven't answered.
So I didn't answer.
Can I ask a more generic question? And this is relevant to all 18 clubs. Is obviously Wanganeen-Millera is an incredible star, as is Harley Reid, potentially an incredible star, and there's talk that, that we're looking up towards close to $2 million a year for these type of young players already. Can football afford that at this stage?
It's a good question. Look, even in my time here, like there's just the market value of players. What was $1 million player 4 years ago is now 1.3, 1.4. So the market is changing, and the salary cap's grown by 30% in 4 years. So we've got to get our head around this, and soon the total salary cap will be 20 million. So to pay a player feels like a lot. Actually, it is a hell of a lot. So let's get that right. But that would be 10% of the cap in a year or two. It feels outlandish, but I won't be shocked when it happens.
Just looking back then, you must be pleased. You almost instantly re-signed Jake Saligo and Josh Rochelle to 6-year deals. You put Riley Thilthorpe, I think he got pushed out by 5 or 6. You did that a couple of years ago. That now sits pretty comfortably in the scope of things in terms of the inflation that the game has seen?
Yes, it has. But like we were talking about before, we identified what we say are our premiership core, our core talent that we want to make us successful. So we got onto them early, and we, like Jake and Josh, we signed them in their second year for, till their 8th year to the end of free agency. So they bought in with us, so we're really satisfied with that.
We're going to take a break, Tim. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck tonight.
All right, thanks, guys.
Tim
Appreciate your
Silver's the
support.
CEO of the Adelaide Crows.
This is the Friday Night Shout on AFL Nation for Liquorland. Whatever the occasion, Liquorland will bring the drinks. Cheers, Liquorland. Choose to drink wise.
For the hottest of hot party you've ever seen. Ream comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on.
Ream's been proudly manufacturing here in Australia for over 80 years.
Install a Ream. Install a Ream. Install a Ream.
So ask your plumber for Ream, Australia's #1.
These prawns are dangerously good.
And you're earning Crown Rewards points with every bite.
Wait, we're earning points for eating amazing food?
Yep, Crown Rewards does that. Oh, I can't feel my legs in the best way possible.
Deep tissue massage, points.
I'm earning points lying here like a walrus.
Yep, Crown Rewards does that. Oh, and your waffles this morning?
What about them?
Helped us score discount movie tickets.
Yeah, I did. Join Crown Rewards today and start earning points doing the things you love. Only available to 18+. T's and C's apply.
This weekend, don't just take a punt. Bet with confidence thanks to Tipper. They're flipping tipping on its head. For $1, you can flip an expert tip from an expert tipster. Tipper uses real-time results and unbiased statistics so you can follow tipsters who are running red hot. View tipster performance across tracks, distance and conditions. Plus, if their tip doesn't profit, the tip is free. Tipper, the tipping marketplace. Download the Tipper app, that's TIPR. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
Got a Mack, Volvo or Hino truck or anything in between and need parts? Get into Truckline with over 70,000 parts ready to go. We've got Japanese, North American and European trucks and trailers covered. And that means our expert team will have you back on the road in no time. So, whether it's a new rig or an old Warrior, Truckline has all the parts you need. Visit truckline.com.au for your nearest store.
In footy, you've got one guarantee each week. It's not the win or loss. It's not the coach's spray. And it's not the cry of... It's the 4 and 20 pie. That classic taste of 100% Australian meat in delicious gravy wrapped in golden pastry. Like coming back to win from 10 goals down. Nothing beats the aroma and taste of a 4 and 20 pie. There's a win in every bite. 4 and 20, Australia's original fan food.
Hi, Gary Lyon here. Good mornings. Start with Tempur. Tempur's range of mattresses and adjustable bases adapt to the exact shape of your body so you can put your head and feet up in comfort. Also, if you're like me and have ongoing back concerns, Tempur mattresses assist in alleviating your pain. Find your perfect position with an easy-to-use wireless remote and massage function available at the touch of a button. Experience the Tempur range today. You can view Tempur athlete stories at tempur.com.au. Tempur, a mattress like no other.
Sick of glue that doesn't stick? Bostik. Sticks like shit. Holding on really tight? That's no bull. Whether it's for indoors, outdoors, rain or shine, it bonds to nearly anything. Wood, metal, brick, you name it, it's stuck. You'll need a crowbar and a prayer to move it. Bostik. Sticks like shit. Find it now at your local hardware store.
Hidden Gems of Melbourne. Prince Wine Store in Bank Street, South Melbourne. Wine Enthusiast magazine has voted Prince Wine Store in the top 10 iconic wine stores in the world. The only store in the Southern Hemisphere to be chosen. Up to 4,000 wine lines, all wine regions of the world, from $10 to $10,000. You'll find the perfect wine at Prince Wine Store, bringing Melburnians the greatest wine in the world. Delivering Australia-wide, princewinestore.com.au.
Join the conversation. Text 0433 98 11 16. This is the pre-game show. For Before You Dig. Before every job, search Before You Dig online. Every time.
And yes, welcome back to AFL Nation for 4 and 20 Pies, Australia's original fan food. And Elders, looking for an agent you can rely on? Trust the team at Elders Real Estate. It is the AFL Nation pre-game show, and it is thanks to Before You Dig online. Before you dig, before every job, every time. Adam White, Dermott, Brereton, and also Mark Bickley with you. Both teams are out on the ground at the moment doing their initial preliminaries. There are no changes to either team. Chase Jones will be the sub for Adelaide, and a bit of a surprise, James Warple will be the sub for the Hawks. Gentlemen, it's a chance to talk about some of the issues from during the week. It feels like that St Kilda Melbourne game, which was last Sunday, it was played on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday as well. We're still talking about what happened. I'm interested, Bix, from your point of view, with the whole thing around Nasiah Wanganeen-Miller. Is the feeling in Adelaide that he is coming home, or is there just genuine unknown?
Yeah, for me it's just genuine unknown. And I think the interesting thing is his stocks are rising. It feels like weekly. It's probably monthly, but after the weekend, they certainly rose again. His ability to think his way through those last couple of minutes, to take a mark, kick a goal, and kick 4 goals. But you start to think about, so how does that happen? Because he's out of contract. You've got to pay for him. The market price is probably 2 top 10 picks. How does a club get their hands on 2 top 10 picks?
And that's the issue for Port, isn't it,
Well, really the only way I can see Port Adelaide getting this done is if they've got to offload Zach Butters.
Yeah.
And then that becomes almost neutral, doesn't it? Because Zach Butters is a star.
What if they departed Bergman?
Well, Bergman's just re-signed.
So, yeah, but there's a clause you can't transfer somebody out if they've re-signed.
Yeah,
one of those weird ones. But what if he said, yeah, I'm agreeable to a trip home? What would you get? You'd get a top 10 for him, wouldn't you? And then you add that to what you've already got.
But the trouble is they gave up their first round pick for this year for Jack Lukosius. So they don't have that.
Okay.
So they don't have a pick.
They don't, but
like Jack Lukosius, I forgot about that. He came for a first rounder.
Yes, well, that was part of a whole convoluted deal. So Joe Richards, Jack Lukosius, Dan Houston went out. There was a whole range of issues, and they got a first rounder. They got one in last year, which they took young Berry, who was very highly touted, but they gave away this year's pick. So they got one in last year, gave away one.
You can trade now 2 years in advance, which does help Port Adelaide's cause, but they need young players as well because they are going into a rebuild with a new coach.
But once again, if I'm St Kilda, I'm really not interested in a first-round draft pick in 2 years' time if I lose Nasiah, Wangan Miller. Look, St Kilda are building now and they're getting players in now. If they're going to lose a star like that, you want someone now. You don't want a pick in 2 years' time because...
Yeah, but you sell that to somebody else for their pick next year.
Yeah,
so you just say, you guys have got the problem, you package it up, you sell that to somebody else and come back with another draft pick for us for next year.
It might be a situation that a third club gets involved and this used to happen probably more so 10, 15 years ago, where it might be a situation where Wangan Miller goes to maybe Port Adelaide, Butters goes to a third club and then the third club then gives St Kilda what they need. I'm not sure how.
I don't know. I really hope that he stays at St Kilda. I think
I'm with you, Bix.
Yeah, like they've had such an inability to attract people, and then if you go back, they actually copped a lot of flack when they took Nasiah ahead of Josh Sin. Josh Sin went the very next pick to Port Adelaide. It's funny because Port would have loved to have taken him in the draft, I'm sure, but he went the pick before. They copped a whole lot of stick, but then they've a combination of his talent, they've developed him, they've actually genuinely grown their own star. It'd be heartbreaking if he left.
So, Omar, for both of you, there's been a lot of talk about him, about Nasiah. How good is he, do you think? Because he's gone from this half-back flanker that kicks the ball really well to within 6 weeks he can play everywhere.
So the evolution of the way I've seen him is like skinny back flanker, can use it, it's got a bit of foresight. Yeah, he's going to turn into something. And then he turns, then they put him in the midfield, and I go, skinny midfielder who can use it. I'm not that big on him. Yeah, does he win his own ball? And then he turns into skinny midfielder who got it 35 times.
and can take a mark.
And then the following week he goes into skinny midfielder who got it 40 times, won it 23 times his own contested possession, and takes a hanger and kicks. There would be every reason to forgive a boy who misses one of the final two shots at goal, clutch goals, to win that game. It was the perfect finishing game. He is the finisher of the AFL. Get the ball into the hands of Michael J before the buzzer, so he can win the game for the Chicago. He was the finisher of all finishers that I've seen for 20 years. And that's the evolution of him. I've had him on a skinny halfback flanker who barely wins his own footy, kicks it all right, finishes the job from inside the midfield.
In 6 weeks.
Unbelievable.
and still will fill out. He's, he'd be 6'2", so
I think he might even be a touch taller.
Yeah, so he's got a frame and he's going to get bigger. Well, remember we see Bont and these guys when they first start. Will Days put on 20 kilos from when he first arrived at Hawthorn. So he will fill out. He's only 22 years of age. But getting back to your point in terms of finishing, I was, we saw the replay about 50 times. What I loved was the drawing goal. Like if you literally, how wide, if there's 9 metres between the goal posts, is it 9 or 10 metres, whatever it is, it was 4.51 millimetres. Like it was dead centre the first kick. Then he goes back and he just has to score. And so often, it slews off the side. Even Tony Lockett, when he had to kick a score in the prelim, just kicked the point. But not Nasiah. He literally, the goal umpire, all you saw was the roof of his mouth because he just craned his neck back. It went straight over his head the second time as well.
And then the composure to orchestrate the final play and then finish that as well.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So, Derm, there's been a lot of talk during the week about Nasiah, and then there's the Harley Reid conversation around, okay, I want to stay at West Coast on the basis you give me essentially 10 years and $25 million.
So good on him if he can get it.
But it feels...
If he gets paid that, West Coast are down for a while, They can't afford to bring anyone else in.
But it does feel irresponsible when you talk like that about saying you've got to give Harley this. When you've got Nasiah who's done what he's done, he's actually sort of starting to prove his worth. But even him, you go, well, it's great at the moment, but we've only seen it, like this for a short period of time. Even people will be balking at that. So it does make that Harley Reid conversation feel irresponsible. for West Coast to take that?
But
or do they have to take that?
The counter to that is you have to dare. When you're putting a list together, you have to dare yourself to be brave enough to get the job done, to get the bloke you reckon is talented enough to get you to the promised land.
So you've been a director and you've been, Vic's involved in many different roles.
Yeah, but I was a director of a club that couldn't afford to send a pack of cheesels downstairs, you know. It was,
but would you feel that that's the right thing to do? Don't want to say it's the responsibility.
West Coast are
right
never going to have financial issues. So the only thing for West Coast is balancing the ledger in terms of A graders 5 years down the track. Can they balance enough A grade players in there? You want 4 A graders, you know, you want another 8 solid B graders, and then you're plumping up the bottom end and you're a shot.
Yeah.
Do they have enough for the amount of A graders if you're paying this bloke, what is it, 24 million over?
But I think the interesting thing is, the way I have to look at it is you got to be, one, you need a crystal ball, because you got to know what the next television rights deal is going to be, because that's going to dictate what the salary cap is going to be. Remember when, I can still remember, I'm old enough to remember Alistair Lynch when he signed for 10 years.
Yeah.
I think
First $1 million talked about it.
That was like, it was $2 million for 10 years, so averaged out to $200,000 a year. In his final year, the average wage was about $300,000. So he was way behind the 8 ball. Now, can you portend or foretell what the salary cap is going to be in 10 years' time? Because you could sort of inflate it away. And then the next bit of it is, can you front-end it enough? Because right now, you've got to pay 95% of the salary cap. And you ask yourself, how are Collingwood paying the salary cap, and how are West Coast paying 95% of the, or Brisbane or any of those really good teams? Can you put so much in the next 3 or 4 years when there is no need to pay anyone a whole lot of money other than Harley and then it's not so much of a burden when some of those young kids and the first round draft pick for next year is starting to become a 60 game player and he wants an extension? You don't quite have the overhang potentially if you can front end a lot of that.
Are you confident Harley Reid will be the player that he promises to be?
I think
it's nearly 2 years worth of work now. We're not going to see him again this year.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about his football ability. It comes down to the rest of it. Can you deal with the attention? Can you deal with the pressure? Do you have the emotional intelligence to understand what it takes? Now, some players like Luke Hodge are not. When they started their career, they had exactly the same problems. And so did Mark Rashudo, and so did Jason Horne-Francis. There's a million of them. And generally they go on a journey and they understand because they want to be good. This is what makes them great players. They're super competitive. And they work it out. If I'm going to be the best, and they all want to be the best, this is what I have to do. And I have to start to do this thing and this thing and this. And they generally arrive at that and get there. So I think he's going to be a great player, but still, do you commit so much of your salary cap to one person?
I'm a believer.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm a believer. He's all the blokes I've seen that have the talent that he's displayed early on, that game against the Demons last year, displaying that talent. And yeah, he's a little wayward with his temperament at the moment, but I've never seen one of those with that temperament and that quotient of talent not make it to the absolute top. It's a great recipe to make it.
Yeah,
he's a competitor. You're going to have to watch himself a few along the way, temptations and going a little wayward and being overly competitive. Not that there's... What's the word am I looking for? Overly competitive is a bit weird because you always want that. But that tips into fighting when you don't need to fight. I'm a big believer, hey, bloody fight if you want, as long as it benefits your team.
Yeah.
And people get told, he's fighting again. Hey, but sometimes that can benefit your team.
It gets you fired up too for some players.
Well, a lot of the time, if it actually takes the opposition's mind, 2 or 3 might go, let's get him, and they're not concentrating on the footy. If you can absorb that, you're only worrying about 15 on the other team.
Because the reason I wanted to ask about those two players tonight is that, one, Wangane Miller has been linked to Adelaide, potentially coming back, as well as Port Adelaide, and Harley Reid. The Hawks have made it pretty clear that they'd love to have Harley, but we've got a situation tonight where it's second versus fifth. They've been good without having those players, because there's the other side of it. Does it upset the apple cart? Does it upset the culture when you bring someone in and pay them a hell of a lot of money to come in and be the man to a team that is successful without them?
Maybe one, maybe two players in each list at most might think that way, and they're the blokes who think they are the man right now. Other than that, every other player would be saying,
"You beauty,
he's
going to make us
fella
good."
Is good.
Ask Richmond players whether they begrudged Tom Lynch getting a big pay packet, or Dion Prestia, or those guys. When you bring people in that make the team better and give you a better chance of having success, you rejoice.
Yeah,
you rejoice.
We had that with Johnny Platten. Came in and he took money off Carlton as well, actually. But he got a big pay packet at Hawthorn in the day per capita. We were rapt.
The other thing I wanted to ask you about, Bix, was about Darren Burgess and the role that he has had at the Crows. Now, we know how well he did at Port Adelaide, and when they went on a run back, just over 10 years ago now. He was involved at Melbourne as well, and now we've got a situation at a third club where he's got a team humming. Yeah. What have you seen, and what's been told to you to make him so beneficial for whatever club he's been at?
I think he has got great experience, and when I'm talking experience, I'm talking experience in the EPL, like we're talking world sports, and in sports that play much more frequently than what we do here. They play 2 or 3 games, or can play 2 or 3 games in 1 week. So I think his biggest thing is he's not afraid to push the boundaries of how much work players can get into themselves, particularly in pre-season. They train really hard. So there's that, and then there's the expertise that he brings. So that's the intellectual property and the knowledge. And the other thing that he brings is, guess what? People want to work underneath him. They want to know what's the secret. So you get the ability to attract good people to your club. Because I speak to the blokes at Adelaide, and they rave about the 2 or 3 other blokes, the weights coach, the 2 I see under Darren Burgess. And the reason they're there is because they want to be working in a team with him. And it's a bit like, when Clarko's right at the peak of his powers at Hawthorn, and he picks up the phone and asks Adam Simpson, "Do you want to come and be an assistant coach?" What do you reckon he says? "Yeah, bloody oath." Damien Hardwick, so people want to work with people that have got a track record. So there's maybe a couple of different factors there, but he doesn't sugarcoat it. They train really hard, and that's probably the basis of it all. But it was interesting that there's a bit of talk around the size of Adelaide and a lot of broken tackles and the way they go about it. I know that they've been on a journey with a guy called, I think it's Josh Manuel was their weights coach, and he's someone that has enormous respect. But this has been, and without being too cute, Adelaide have always trained really hard. So Neil Craig and Charlie Walsh.
Charlie Walsh, the old side, he had him going hard, didn't he?
Absolutely. So
we're talking about this tonight.
I was an assistant coach under Craigie, and I played when Charlie was involved. Neil Craig was the fitness coach when I was playing, and then progressed to becoming the senior coach. But they had this philosophy of hard work and really hard training, and so Craigie was coach when Tex was there and Sloan was there, and then they've gone through that, and then they've passed it on to the next group of players. So there is a culture that's been put in place over the last probably, 15 years or so, where it is expected that you train really hard in the off-season and during the season.
We're about to let you go because you've got other responsibilities tonight, but I did want to ask you about just the mood in the town, the mood around the club. It's been nearly 30 years since Adelaide won a premiership. We had the grand final appearance back, 7 or 8 years ago against Richmond. Does it feel like that time now, back in the late 90s around, that this could be the time now?
I don't know. I think people are starting to get very enthusiastic, but I think everyone's a little bit just tempering it a little bit. When you're 15th last year, there's this thought, you couldn't possibly go from 15th to a grand final. So I think that everyone's just sort of thinking, is it possible to do that? But what we've seen probably in the last month or so, they've had this sustained run. I think Adelaide have won. The last time they lost was against Hawthorn 7 weeks ago by 3 points. So, and the knock was always, well, they haven't beaten anyone, but they've beaten Brisbane, they beat Gold Coast, and they're comprehensively, and I think they might have beaten the Giants in there as well. So
this is the best they've been. They made a run. They should have played finals 2 years ago, not for that decision on the post. Including that year, their football since the Hawthorn game 6 weeks ago, this is the best football this group has played.
Yeah, and we were talking about, all Australians, who's in line. There's only 2 or 3 players that are really in line. So that speaks to the evenness across the board. And even, I've always had a bit of a question mark. Do they have enough quality in the midfield? They've got Dawson, who's a star, but then they've got Saligo and Berry and who else is it,
Well, they're role players, but they're Peatling, Alex Neil-Bullen.
That's right. Keys is someone.
They've all come in and just done their role.
Saligo's better than a role player. I'm very pleased with the way Saligo's come on since being the sub in round 1 last year. I called that game.
Yeah, he was coming back from a limited pre-season with an ankle.
But he's got some wheels and he's got a step.
He's got power as well.
And once you have the ability to get the ball in traffic, and then by the time you deliver it, you're 5 metres ahead of the traffic. That is weapon number one in the midfield. And
once again, if we get back, and this is always a common denominator of all great players, he is competitive. He hates losing a contest. And even last week, he went forward because they put someone else in the midfield. And there was a 1-on-2 against 2 Port players, and he banged into one and knocked him over. Then he pushed another one, then he toe-poked it, picked it up, and kicked a goal. That's at the 27-minute mark. You're 90-something points in front, and he still wants to win every contest he's in.
Which is amazing for a boy coming from Mount Martha. They breathe them a little softer down there.
Pick 36 too. They picked the eyes out of the draft that year.
Very good, Dan. Bix, thanks for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. Good luck with your Crows tonight. It is the AFL Nation pre-game show before every job. Search before you dig online every time. Back with more after this.
Join the conversation. Text 0433 98 11 16. This is the pre-game show for Before You Dig. Before every job, search Before You Dig online every time.
Need truck parts? Get expert service from the team that knows their stuff at Truckline. Whether you've got a Japanese, North American or European truck or trailer, we've got the parts to get you back on the road in no time. From hoses to transmissions and everything in between, we'll get you sorted fast. Truckline keeps Australia's trucks moving. Find your local store at truckline.com.au.
At E&S, you can get the best house on the block with incredible deals on some of the world's best kitchen brands, like the Italian style and innovation of Smeg, the Scandinavian-inspired Asco, the German-inspired performance of AEG, and Neff, made in Germany with their famous slide and height ovens. Our consultants are kitchen experts, and we won't be beaten on price. So visit one of our 10 showrooms today or shop online and get value the E&S way.
At Ozito, we know for you it's about leaving your mark. With over 125 tools for your home and garden, all powered by one battery to make it happen. Kick off your tool collection with one of our 3, 4 or 8-piece tool value packs, or grab a battery starter kit and choose the tools you need. Because when it comes to getting things done, do it yourself. Do it with Ozito. Only at Bunnings Warehouse.
Discover the power of Direct, the cutting edge of tool technology. Every cut counts. That's why tradies choose Direct, the trusted name in diamond tools that deliver real results. Whether it's blades, core drills, or polishing pads, Direct's tools are built for precision, performance, and durability on the job site. When quality matters, choose tools made for professionals. Find your nearest stockist now at directs.com.au.
Come in now to your local Harley-Davidson dealership and we'll set you up with a deposit contribution on select year 24 models. Don't wait for your freedom. Our deposit contribution for your new Harley is ready and waiting in dealerships today. You can ride away with serious savings and even more attitude. And with 24 months roadside and warranty as standard, it's time to ride. Offer ends soon. Terms and conditions apply. See your nearest Harley-Davidson dealer for full details.
Be the sharpest tool in the shed with a discount on tool insurance from IMAR, the tradies' mate. For over 35 years, IMAR's trusted team have backed tradies with the sharpest... Oh, that really is sharp. The sharpest tool insurance from the trusted team at IMAR. Call 13IMAR today and be the sharpest tool in the shed with your discounted tool cover. That's 134627.
Never tradies, mate. That's IMAR.
OMF's winter sale is on. Time to get comfy. Buy any base, bed frame or bedroom item and get up to 60% off selected mattresses. Like the BC7 mattress, Queens for under $900. Or the Refresh mattress, Queens for under $1,400. This week only, get an extra 10% off selected already reduced mattresses. Plus, stay warm with great deals on Manchester and bedroom furniture. Don't miss out. Sale extended at OMF, the home of mattress, bedroom, bedding and furniture.
Every coach knows it's hard work building a winning team, and finding the right players isn't easy. When it comes to apprentices and trainees, there's nobody better in the game than MEGT. MEGT can help you recruit the key position players you need to keep your business moving. They can also take care of wages and provide ongoing support and mentoring to keep your business ahead of the game. So, if you're needing to build a winning team, call MEGT today on 134 767 or visit MEGT.com.
Join the conversation. Text 0433 98 11 16. This is the pre-game show for Before You Dig. Before every job, search Before You Dig online. Every time.
Welcome back to AFL Nation for 4 and 20 Pies, Australia's original fan food and Elders. Looking for an agent you can rely on? Trust the team at Elders Real Estate. Sellout crowd here tonight at Adelaide Oval. The Crows second up against the Hawks fifth. Perfect conditions for a game of football. It's a little brisk. It'll get down to about 7 degrees roughly halfway through the night, but perfect conditions. And I've got to say, Derm, it really does feel like a final.
Well, when you know it's going to be a sellout, which we've been informed it will, and we're a little bit off.
Did I hear Tim Wright? He said it was the first time since 2017?
Yeah. No, Eddie, our mate Eddie will be home. Oh, we sell it out every time we go over there.
Of course he will.
No, you don't. Only the Hawks. So it is amazing, but I think, 90%, not 90%, 80% will be the Crows supporters.
I reckon it'll be 90.
Well, there's quite a few Hawk scarves in and the likes, as you can see, but...
There's a lot of Hawks around town today.
There is, isn't there?
Yeah.
No, it's a hot ticket for the locals here tonight. This is a rebirthing of their team into what could be lofty standards of finals.
Another dynasty, maybe?
Yeah. So, no, it's exciting for them, and hopefully the Hawks poop the party.
Both teams are about to come out onto the ground for the Ream warm-up. Ream for manufacturing in Australia for over 80 years. Welcome back to Adelaide Oval. The fireworks are off. The Crows are out for the Ream warm-up. The Hawks are already there. Their Ream warm-up. It's a magnificent atmosphere here. Beautiful conditions, and looking forward to hopefully a cracking contest. These teams met back in round 14. The Hawks in terrible conditions won 47-44. The Crows tonight starting the red hot favourites. The Hawks have won 5 of the last 6 against Adelaide by an average margin of 31 points. What is in store tonight? Let's get our thoughts from our expert tonight for MEGT. Build a winning team with Australia's apprenticeship experts. Stephen Quartermain and Adam White will be your co-commentators this evening. Our MEGT man is Dermott Brereton.
Thank you, Stephen. I'm really looking forward to the battle between Tom Barrass and Riley Philthorpe tonight. I mean, Philthorpe actually goes up the ground. He's not the big bear in the square who just sits there, can do that, but he tends to drift up the ground and meet the outcoming ball coming out of the Crows' backline. So too does Darcy Fogarty. Tex seems to stay a little bit around half forward, can come up to the wings if the ball goes in reverse and then comes out the other side. So they work for each other. They cover for each other in terms of workload and how to get on the end of the footy. And the Hawks having recruited Barras, that leaves a Scrimshaw or a crossover of Scrimshaw and or Sicily to take the third tall, which will probably be Darcy Fogarty. They'll share that on Barras and battle to take the two other lads at the start of it. So really looking forward to the Barras battle. Looking forward to Riley O'Brien, who's rejuvenated his career roughly along the same lines as the Crows. After we talked a little earlier about how they got pulverised late last year by a lowly Richmond, and Riley O'Brien just prior to that had been dropped. So he's come back, he's made the position his own again, and he's been a wonderful, wonderful player for them again this year. He's up against Lloyd Meek, and Lloyd Meek is ably assisted by Mabior Chol. So I think that's a vital area of football as we go and swing towards the finals. Your second ruck, the composition of your second ruck must be someone who not only holds the fort, is capable of winning against a slick change, which places him against the opposition's A-grade ruck. That's why you need Mabior Chol, I believe, in this team, and he's been darn good in the forward line as well.
Well, I reckon you've named about 7 unmissable moments there tonight, Dermott, for Drink Wise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise. Choose to drink wise. They are Dermott's unmissable moments tonight. Which players provide flexibility for Flexalt, the only flexible oral ice treatment for sheep?
Well, the one who provides flexibility for Adelaide's not playing, Michael Laney. So that's a little bit of a hurt for them. So they're not with their best team just as yet, but they're still darn good. Look, the bloke I love is Isaac Rankin. Now, he could be the most dangerous small forward in the comp, and then he can tear you apart out of the midfield. So he will give them great flexibility. If one's working in one area and not working in one area, you can shove him to the other area with equal danger to the opposition. So, yeah, Isaac Rankin looms as the most flexible player in that regard.
The key matchups for Seek, for the best job matches, Seek and You Shall Find. We'll just go back. I think you probably mentioned the first one was Barras on Thilthorpe. That's probably the number one.
Yeah, and then Riley O'Brien against Lloyd Meek. The other two is the key backmen who are big guys, Murray and also Markeen from the Crows back line. They'll identify for us who the competition thinks are the most dangerous targets in Hawthorn's forward line. Size and shape, if Chol starts in the goal square, you're probably obligated to go Murray with him. And that being the case, you're probably obligated then to go with Keane on big Mitch Lewis. He's moving really, really well, Mitch Lewis. So I still think the best version of Hawthorn has Mitch Lewis as the number one key forward, and that's why you've got to give him every chance to recapture the form that we know he's capable of.
I think the coach, Sam Mitchell, thinks exactly the same as you do.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he regards Mitchell Lewis as was the missing piece in the Hawthorn team this year. That's why I was so keen to get him back healthy. The team's still going through their warm-up, by the way, for Reams, steady, hot and strong. The ground weather report for Pacific Seeds, proven performance, trusted by Australian farmers, growing possibilities. It's getting pretty chilly, lads. It's going to get down to about 6 or 7 by about 9:30 tonight, but it's like carpet out there. There's beautiful. There's a little bit of wind, but nothing too bad, and no rain at all, so no excuses out there to get a kick.
One of the great things about this ground, the stands are so high. I mean, you've got the end, which is to the left-hand side of your dial, left-hand side of your screen, if you've got us in sync tonight.
The old hill.
Yeah. Once you get past the chalk of the centre square to the left-hand side of your screen, the wind gets down from over the top of the stand at the right-hand end. You get a bit of wind assistance that way. But once you're in 2/3 of the ground side to the right, it's pretty benign. The ball carries true. The ball doesn't drift around. It doesn't move around all that much. So even at night time. It's a good place for aerial activity in terms of high marking. So, yeah, it's going to be a really, really good watch.
Adam White does have some disturbing weather reports, though, from back home in Melbourne.
The suggestions we might not be able to get home in the morning because of the fog. We're already getting the alerts.
Well, we've had beautiful days in Melbourne recently, and in winter, when you get a beautiful day, you tend to get a foggy morning.
Well, I live in Melbourne's leafy east, and this morning it was completely fogged in. I thought, I'm not going to get out this morning. Drove about 5 kilometres down the road, and it was blue sky.
We had book week this morning. We had the parade out of the schoolyard. You can almost not see the other side of the basketball court.
So how's this for where I've moved back down to close to Frankston? I'm in Carrum. And my windows, I can look out on the beach and to see horses swimming in the water.
Oh, nice.
And it was like a pond. It is one of the most peaceful, serene sights you get to see. And I just thought, it's good to be alive.
So just in case...
Good evening to you, David Attenborough.
Just in case Mrs. Q's listening, Mrs. Q, I haven't been out on an all-nighter with Dermott. I missed the plane.
Yeah.
Fogged in.
Hang on. You have to check in still, do you? Yeah, I do too.
What's the final word from the coaches, Derm, before the bounce? The best sheds, Australian sheds at the last price. Would Sam Mitchell and Matthew Nix's final messages have been?
So Matthew Nix will be selling the mantra, hey, we've got to this position. We have raised the bar. We are playing our footy, and it's darn good footy. Where can we go wrong? We keep applying ourselves in the pressure elements of this game, and the rest will fall in behind. We've got the most solid defence in the competition. If you, as a midfield, commit to these strategies, commit to this way of stifling opposition's ball usage and give our backline a chance to hold up, we will win this game. We kick 14 goals and we win this game. Give our forwards the chance to kick 14. And the Hawks, on the other hand, have to say the midfield must perform. Our backline's good, but we've got to give them a chance by stopping the Crows' ball movement. If we can keep the Crows under 13 goals, 13 or less, we're a massive chance of winning this game. So not that you sell it in numbers, you sell it in strategy, you sell it in the heart and soul of committing to various acts, and that is the pressure elements, that is the ground ball gets, that is the assistance to other teammates. So that'll be the mantra, I would imagine, from both these coaches.
The coin toss for Keno Go, $40 million jackpot every 3 minutes with Keno Go. It has been the captain of Adelaide, Jordan Dawson, winning the toss, and the Crows going to kick to right of your dial in this first quarter.
So you two learned gentlemen, are you both members of the club, the Toyn Koss Club?
not yet, but one day
I am back in Channel 9
and I still don't know why.
It's very easy to do.
I did it before it was a thing.
Well, it's game on too at Hyundai with offers like the dynamic Tucson from $39.99 drive away, and our travel partner is Signet. Stay powered 24/7.
Bloody good, the Signet.
With Signet AFL Club power banks. Great atmosphere here at Adelaide Oval as the players take their positions. Adelaide second, Hawthorn fifth. Sell-out crowd. Feels like a final. Let's hope it plays like a final. Start proceedings.
Gunston to the goal square. Worrell goes down to pick him up.
Here's Adam White.
It does feel like a final. A packed Adelaide Oval. Two teams inside the top six. Two teams that think they might be there in the last Saturday in September. We're underway with a perfect bounce in the middle. Meek winning the tap down. Newcombe streams through with the footy, but he is going in the wrong direction. He had to give the handball to Day, who gives the handball across to Hardwick. Long click kick towards the top of the 50. But unfortunately, Lewis was caught out of position, and it was a comfortable mark to Murray for the Crows, who kicks out wide, and it's Rankin who marks on the outer half-back flank for the Crows. Flat kick, good kick towards Curtin, who marks forward to the wing. Close to the boundary. But he's looking up and he sees a fairly open forward line, but he's taking his time. So Hawthorn do flood back. Curtin's kick towards centre half forward, backing back Newcombe, couldn't take the mark. Walker bounces off one tackle, can't bounce off the second, holding the ball, free kick Hawthorn.
It's an assist tackle. He broke the first tackle, so it was very good of the Hawthorn teammate to come in. That's the type of team aspect we're talking about, covering for each other. Short out to Sicily on the intersection of the 50.
Out of sight of the ground, the Hawthorn skipper goes the long option. O'Brien in front, got away from Meek and took an excellent mark in front of the pack. Meek was caught napping there.
Yeah, he decided not to contest. He thought he'd moved O'Brien under the footy, and the ball actually just dropped on his head in the end.
So good mark to O'Brien. Kicks to half forward. Filthoff attacks it. Takes a great mark in front of the pack again. Wants to play on. Sidesteps Watson. Drills the pass inside 50. No mark. Goes into the forward pocket for the Crows. It's off hands, and in the end, James Sicily is happy to concede the rush behind. First score of the night goes to the Adelaide Crows. They're one behind. Hawks yet to score.
And Sicily gets on with it very quickly with a long kick to the left half back flank. Ginnivan gets knocked out of the way by Miller. Miller will kick back into the 50. Walker has a run at it, can't mark. Sicily in front, did well. At the drop, it's a Hawthorn football today. Wide handball out to Amon, pumps a handball across to D'Ambrosio. Now to Ginnivan, confronted. Handball gets knocked down by Hinge, and it gets out of play for a throw-in. On the wing, members sign of Adelaide Oval through 2 minutes. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 Pies, and for Elders for Australian Agriculture. It is Adelaide behind, Hawthorn yet to score.
Will Day has started pretty well.
O'Brien, the tap, though, went straight to D'Ambrosio. Got it to Ward. Great smother off the boot, though, by Berry. And ricochets off his hands. Back over the line for a throw-in.
So second time there's been a knockdown type smother by the Crows. So dialed in to try and stop the ball in its tracks.
Pressure good from the Crows early. Throw in. Meek the tap to the feet of Newcombe. Hacks the kick out to half forward. Bond gets there first for the Crows. Takes on the tackler. Did well to get the handball to Dawson. The Crows have got it at half back. Deft little sidestep from Keane to the wing. O'Brien's been prominent early. His handball smothered. Still keeps it alive, though. Could have caught one high. Play on, says the umpire. Newcombe handballs to Sicily. Lost the handle on it. Holding the ball.
That umpire let it go and then changed his mind.
So free kick to the Adelaide Crows to be taken by Neil Bullen.
Neil Bullen in front of the interchange gates will kick a flat ball into the 50. Barris up, destroys the pack, knocks it towards the boundary, and it goes over 50 metres around from Adelaide's goal.
Yeah, that was an unusual decision. I was watching the umpire who was 7 or 8 metres away. Hang on, we got... Yeah, the umpire's just sorting this out now. Yeah, and he decided not to award it, and then one of the other umpires must have contacted him and said, yes, pay that.
50 around from the goals. The Crows are attacking off the contest. It's Rankin. Got the handball to Cummings, swings it around inside 50, deep into the pocket. Off hands, it goes out of bounds for another throwing, but now only 20 metres around from Adelaide's goals. They kick to the Riverbank stand end. Just a behind to the Crows. The Hawks yet to score through 4 minutes. Tech automation for manufacturing clock as the ball gets thrown in. Meek front position. O'Brien reaches over the top, wins it down. Dawson applied the tackle, but Day was still able to get a clear and kick for the Hawks. Back towards the wing. Good body work there from Deere, and an excellent handball across to Watson. Handballs to Gunston. There's a free kick. It's going Hawthorn's way back to Watson.
High contact. Yeah, after he offloaded the ball.
Watson, little short one to Lewis at centre half forward. That's a beautiful kick out wide. Spots up a teammate at Impey, and Impey's taken the mark, and he'll be kicking from 45 metres out on about a 40-degree angle.
Gee, deathly silence when he took that. I think I might...
Are you surprised?
I might upgrade that 90% Crows fans, 10% Hawks to about 98 too. But if that's going in reverse, that's a free kick with the noise of affirmation. He felled him after he marked it and was never looking at the ball. He ran with the flight, and the umpire said, nothing to see here.
So move along. Dermott Impey has done some good work up forward as a pinch hitter in recent weeks. Kicks towards goal. He's missed by fairway to the right.
Notice how they took that off the line. Now, they were talking about doing that. So basically you draw a line between where the ball is and the middle of the goals. If you kick it outside, zigzag away from that line, that's taking it off the line.
Keane runs into play, then runs into trouble. So forced to handball to Bond, back to Keane, back to Bond. They're at defensive 50. Hawthorn swarming with the pressure. They're going to cough it up here. The Crows, they do. Ginnivan had it for a moment, lost it. Adelaide win it back. Bond to handball to Keys. Can't get past the tackle from Impey. Had to handball back to Bond. They're under all sorts of pressure. The Crows, they lose it. Ginnivan centering ball, misses Gunston. Lewis comes late to the contest, gets a handball to the square. Moore gets knocked over. Umpire says play on. Adelaide win it back. Keane in the defensive goal square. Got the handball to Cumming. Cumming settles things down and kicks well.
Great pressure stuff.
Get out of trouble with Curtin.
Great pressure stuff from both teams. Sicily, who's been pretty good early in this game, takes the mark. Between wing and half forward on the outer side. So it's 1 point apiece on the host plus. That's the plus scoreboard.
Just had a look at that on the replay there. The Toolkit Depot replay. It was a flat chat in the back.
Deer flies high from the Sicily kick. Couldn't take the mark. Ward's at the bottom of that pack for the Hawks. He's immediately wrapped up. He threw it out in the end to D'Ambrosio, who kicks it. No, the umpire said, you threw it all right. Yep.
Right on quarters. You were on the money. You knew it was a throw.
Thought he got away with it, but didn't. So good decision by the umpire. Free kick to Adelaide, deep in defence. And they choose to kick to the broadcast side. Wasn't a great kick. That was Neil Bullen who was doing the kicking, and it's gone out of bounds for a throw-in. So 75 out from Hawthorn's goal. Broadcast side, Hawks kicking to the left of your dial. They're one behind, as are the Adelaide Crows. And we've been travelling about 7 minutes in this first quarter. Throw-in. O'Brien took it out of the ruck. Kick though only goes as far as D'Ambrosio, who puts it deep back inside 50. Excellent mark from the Adelaide defence. That man is Keane, who outmarked his opponent in Lewis, and Keane goes short to Miller.
Yeah, he just was able to move Deer sideways to start with.
Miller's kick is good, and O'Brien takes the mark, defensive wing, chips it on, Rankin at the logo, marks, handballs into the centre square to Cumming, now across to Berry, has some space, he'll kick it into the pocket, it's a good kick. Sicily got back late, put pressure on Keys when Keys thought he was going to take the mark, and they've lost it, the Crows. Battles handball to Morrison, it misses Morrison, and bounces out of play for a throw-in. 25 around from Adelaide's goal.
I know it's... We're only 7 minutes in. These two teams are remarkably well matched. They cannot get a goal. They cannot get a proper shot at goal.
Can't even get a clear kick away.
No, inside 50.
Ball thrown in. Meek reaches over the top, wins it down. Ward through the traffic, gets out of the traffic. His left foot kick isn't great. Half volley attempt there was okay in the end for the Hawks. Then it's D'Ambrosio that kicks it. Clear and kick wasn't good. It was under pressure. Adelaide win the ball back. Murray under pressure himself. Handball wasn't great. Chol with the late pressure affects the turnover. Ginnivan tumbles a kick to the 50 for the Hawks. Space here for Gunston. Collects the footy. Open square. Tumbles it home for a goal.
Well done, Mabior Chol. He's the one who put the pressure on. Was it Peatling went a little bit shaky there under pressure? Mabior Chol came up. Once the ball didn't get to him correctly and it hit the deck, just having a look here again on the replay. Yeah. Well, Chol ran at him. He's big and he looks nasty. I don't know if he plays nasty, but when he's running at you...
There's about 100 kicks there.
Yeah, but he was well within his line to run at the ball, and the ball was kind of between his knees, so you know you're going to cop the full brunt.
It was a little Matt Scarlett toe poke, wasn't it? Just from Chol to get it into open territory, and once the Hawks got it halfway, it was always going to be a score. It was just a question of whether it was going to be a goal.
So we have a look at some of the stats here. And 16 to 17 kicks, disposals, kicks each. Adelaide have had 38 possessions to Hawthorn's 29, but inside 50's 4 apiece.
O'Brien the tap. Ward's there against Peatling. Peatling can't quite get a handle on it. Now it's picked up by Day. Oh, he slung into the ground with a big tackle. That's a dangerous tackle. I think it was Berry was the tackler.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, that was...
Oh, it's thick. See, that is... Oh, look, that is so dangerous.
Anyway, play on. Amon bangs it inside 50. Gunston's there, one out. Couldn't take the mark against Worrell. Watson in the forward pocket trying to pick it up. Does so now. Great tackle. I think it was Bond.
Well done.
There was a ripping tackle on Watson who looked like he might have got away.
So, it was tackled by Bond. He had to lay that, otherwise he'd have run into an open goal. It was a great tackle. Gee, went past him in a flash too.
O'Brien and Meek, it's just outside the goal square. The Hawks have it for a moment, then lose it. Watson's lurking deep in the pocket, gets hit high, no free kick. Berry with the tackle. Now the ball goes over the boundary line with Dylan Moore. A big tackle as well. And that one was on Smith, and it's out of bounds for a throw-in. This time it's 35 metres around. In fact, it's still in the play. So throw up rather than a boundary throw-in situation. Meek wins it down, straight into the congestion. Ward just handballs it forward Hawthorn's way, all the way to full forward. Gunston couldn't pick it up. Moore could, gets a kick, a tumbler, a goal! Got it under the smother and through for a goal. That is 2 to Hawthorn within the first 11 minutes. Hawthorn 2-1-13. Adelaide are behind on the Host Plus Stats a Plus scoreboard. It wasn't fancy, but she wasn't effective.
One thing I'll say, though, is that's Damien Hardwick's Richmond of 2021, 22, that era. Everything was about taking the ground. It was in congestion, and Ward, who's 25 metres out on an angle, just basically handballs the ball forward, takes the ground over the top of the pack that are pursuing him, just to take the ground of 15, 20 metres, finds a bit of space, and the Hawthorn player's there to get on the end of it, and it immediately puts pressure on the backman. The ground level ball again.
Adelaide fans try to lift their team. Cheers of encouragement. They're a couple of goals down on the Host Plus. That's a plus scoreboard. We've gone 12 minutes in the first term on the New Tech clock, as we have a secondary stoppage in the middle here. Hawthorn 2-1-13. Crows 1 behind. From the throw up. Tap was by Meek. Keys is tackled by Day, and the umpire says holding the ball.
Yeah, he held it in one arm was pinned, and if you make no attempt to put it onto your boot, they're paying that.
Day goes short to Meek. Dishes off to Amon. Full of run. Puts it inside 50 towards Chol. He couldn't get to the contest. Gunston could. Swings onto the left. Kicks another one. Hawks have got 3. Scintillating start from the away team, and they've really silenced the Crows crowd. They're in a little bit of shock. 3-1-19 to 1 behind on the Host Plus. That's the plus scoreboard.
So if we have a look on the stat sheet here, thanks to Milwaukee, M12 stock up now, M12. If you have a look at the clearances, well, read this, 8-1 in favour of Hawthorn. So you think of how quick that ball went out of the centre after the free kick, the good tackle applied by Will Day. 8-1 is the clearance rate, and Hawthorn are starting to get some benefit from that now.
It's a Hawks blitz. They've kicked 3 goals in 4 minutes. They are the team that is running hot for Ream, Australia's favourite hot water, through the first phase of this game.
Chol in the middle. Deer will come back on, and Lloyd Meek has a breather.
Thilthorpe in the ruck for the Crows. Chol wins it down. Bobbles around at ground level. Saligo gets tackled, loses it. They all climb in on top of it. The umpire waiting a while.
That's a pack.
He'll have to call something. He doesn't call anything. He's still letting it go. It's like rugby union. Comes out Hawthorn's way to Chol. Kick went about 3 metres. Ricochets to Impey. Got a handball out to Ginnivan. To Scrimshaw. Another handball out wide to Impey, who just evades the bump that was coming late from coming. Now it's more. Handball to Ginnivan. Hawthorn look on. Ginnivan handball to Ward. He's on the boundary. 55 out. It's a centering ball to full forward. Deer up. Couldn't quite hold on. Ground level, it's a Crows ball. Worrell just kicks it as far as he can from the goal square. Straight on the chest of Sicily.
Gee, that's got him on the back foot.
Sicily is 60 metres out from goal. He's saying to the umpire, I want to have a shot. It would take his absolute best. If there's any breeze, it is behind him here. He doesn't go for goal. He pulls it late. He wants Chol. He stretches, can't quite hold on. Ball at the top of the the square. Worrell scrounges the kick clear. Straight to Ginnivan. Ginnivan with the snap. Ginnivan hits the post. They are all over Adelaide, the Hawks. 3-2-20 Hawthorn. Adelaide one behind. We've played 15 minutes in the opening term. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies and elders for Australian Agriculture.
Remember when I called it 39 possessions to 28? The Crows have added 3 and Hawthorn have added 20.
Wow.
It's a domination.
Is a beauty as Philthorpe takes the mark for the Adelaide Crows at half back.
But they need to kick 15 plus Hawthorn to win tonight.
Crows just need to hang on to the ball for a little while. Saligo short to Smith, who switches to the outer side. Good drop, fumble. Keane dropped the mark, but he had plenty of time to steady and recover, and he goes short to Worrell. Haven't really gone much further forward, though. They've still got the ball at half back as the mark's taken by Smith, just outside his defensive 50 arc. So Smith's called to go, short and sideways to Millerer. But at least they're getting their hands on the footy, Dermott, just stopping this Hawthorn momentum.
Let's take a bit of air out of Hawthorn's pressure game. They've got Philthorpe down the line now.
Millerer kicks. He might have put it's out on the full, so it's a turnover. Free kick to Hawthorn on centre wing. Broadcast side. Hawks kicking to the left of your dial in this first quarter. Host plus, that's the plus scoreboard. It's Hawthorn 3-2-20. The Crows are one behind.
Adelaide have got a big T up on a sign telling all the players to do whatever that T means. As the Hawks kick towards half forward, no mark taken. Miller at ground level, handball to Keane, handball to Berry, has a bit of a run, then kicks in the Dawson direction, who stretches and marks. Open forward line, Keys running back towards goal. He's going in that direction. Keys, no, can't mark. Good work from Battle to spoil and get it out of bounds for a throwing in the right forward pocket for the Crows.
He took off as soon as Dawson had that mark, and he ran through the forward part of the square, and Battle was 5 metres further adrift and hauled him in on the sprint over, what's that? Let's call that 50 metres.
20 metres out from Adelaide's goal. Meek wins it down towards Sicily. Saligo came in on hands and knees, burrows in, tried to get a handball out to Keys, spits out towards Neil Bullen. He's well tackled. Hawthorn now with the football. Moore onto the loose ball. He gets well tackled close to the boundary. Umpire says play on. It trickles out of play. It'll be thrown in 70 metres around from Adelaide's goal, right half forward now.
So Dylan Moore and the Wizard 2 times. Those two boys, one each. They've tried to draw the high contact free kick, slinking the shoulder down, raising the arm. The umpire said, I'm having none of that.
O'Brien and Meek nullify each other. Well, the umpire thought otherwise. Free kick. It's going O'Brien's way against Meek for a hold.
Yeah, grabbed on as he fell, started to fall.
So Riley O'Brien. Boy, the Crows need a goal. Just to steady the ship, looks towards Walker, but he's out marked beautifully by Battle, a one-on-one contest. And Battle pulls the trigger quickly. And it's a good mark too, good spot up. Mark taken by McDonald, who wastes no time, gives off the handball to Morrison. Now to Hardwick. Can't quite break the tackle, but he's got support. More handballs to Amon. Amon onto the left boot to half forward, hits up Newcomb. Newcomb looking to get things moving. It's a poor kick. He rushed it too much. But the Adelaide player lost his feet. Too high, said the umpire. It's a bit of a soft free kick, but the Crows will take it as Murray's got it just inside defensive.
Yeah, he's just a little bit
over-anxious, overzealous.
As he came in, he just had to sweat on him a bit more.
Kicks to the wing. Walker takes a good mark for the Crows.
He wants to get on with it quickly, Walker. He spots an open man, Fogarty, but he can't get it to him on the full, and it bounces out of play for a throw-in.
So that is experience there. I mean, Taylor Walker was fantastic. He saw a man-on-man battle. He was third man in and just bumped into Battle, who took that other opponent with him, took the mark himself. Battle stands the mark. Taylor Walker hears the scream, I'm out, play on. And Battle's attuned to it and hauls him in on the tackle.
Curtin with the clearance for the Crows, inside 50, gets away from Fogarty. Ball stays in play for Sicily to mop up. He looks up, he gets late pressure from Walker, but still he's able to clear, but it might be coming back. Kurt, good mark for the Crows. That was a very special mark in a contest. He plays on, he gets onto his left, he kicks it long, Hawthorn mark. Good mark there to Battle, is it, in the end? They've got two that want it. Scrimshaw's the one that in the end, they could have raffled it. It was either of them. Scrimshaw all battle, but Scrimshaw last line of defence.
Scrimshaw goes long to half-back. Out of side flying was Day, no mark. Fall of the ball was Amon. Quick handball to Morrison. A high ball to the wing. It's Deer one-on-one with Worrell. Worrell almost took the chest mark, but now gathers possession. Then he's dispossessed by Chol. Good hard work from Chol. Picked up by McDonald. Put his team under the pressure. McDonald gets the handball back. Ball yells to crowd. Deer got caught. Umpire said holding the man.
So the ball spilled free, and the umpire said you still dragged into the ground, which he did. The tackle jarred the ball free. Insufficient time was thought, and then he got dragged to the ground.
Crows fans not impressed. Switches on. Scrimshaw comes to the broadcast wing. Mark taken by Sicily. And Sicily decides to bang it long into the pocket. Gunston's there in front. Couldn't get on the second bite. Picked up by Moore. Handballs to Nash. Nash took on the tackler. Moore handballs to Watson. Watson squeezes the kick out and puts it through.
Gee, their handball
Quick hands from Hawthorn.
Their handball is too slick for the Crows to shut down. And that's happening all over the ground. I mean, that was inside 50. But you think of the times, if Adelaide don't mark the clearing kick out of Hawthorn's defence, if Adelaide have been doing well to mark that one down the line, but if it hits the ground and Hawthorn get first hands on, their handball has been too slick for Adelaide to shut down thereafter.
Hawthorn 4-2-26. The Crows one behind. We've been going 21 and a half minutes in his first term on the New Tech Automation for Manufacturing clock. It's the Hawks by 25 points on the Host Plus. That's a plus scoreboard.
9-3 now, the clearances. They've got to do something here. I mean, just change it up a little bit. The Adelaide Crows, they've got to hit the board. They've got to get something for their hard earns. Going with the same three. Dawson, Saligo and Berry underneath O'Brien.
Perfect bounce back in the middle. O'Brien takes it out of the ruck and just says, I'm going to do it myself. Kick to half forward, Fogarty on the bounce. Gave the handball to Rankin. He's 45 out. His kick is away to the left and won't even score. It bounces out of play.
See how he feigned out to the right onto his right foot and then runs inside 50. He practiced that kick about 8 times in the warm-up and didn't miss one.
It's just the pressure that they're under at the moment, the Crows. So much on the back foot as the ball gets thrown in. Deep in their forward zone. O'Brien winning the tap down, but it's a Hawthorn footy. Day clears for Hawthorn. Juggling it, going back to the flight from Peatley. He couldn't hold on. And D'Ambrosio crumbs it for Hawthorn. Shapes it beautifully. And that's a good mark taken by Lewis to Hawks. And 50. He's going to be marked from half back to half forward.
Jarman Impey called, who was it, Peatling into that.
So Lewis has been taken to the 55-metre mark, maybe 60 metres out.
Peatling was trying to follow Jarman Impey. Impey split one way around the kicker, Lewis, and Peatling stayed the other side but went real close.
He's not going for goal. He's going to go wide with the kick. He wanted, in the end, Ward. It was an ambitious option and the Crows could clear.
Two Hawthorn players there and they got separated by the Adelaide Crow player Philthorpe. He did that really well. Riley Philthorpe had no right to win the footy and did it cleverly. Now we got a stoppage, so a bit of a miscommunication from the Hawthorn players. And Philthorpe saved the day for Adelaide.
This is why Hawthorn have waited so long for Will Day. He got a hand on that handball that went out. He's broken it up and he's the Hawks' #1 possession winner. He adds another one there now.
Meek today to Amon. Beautiful ruck work from Lloyd Meek. And D'Ambrosio takes the mark on the wing. Pops one over the top by hand to Impey. Not sure what to do with it. Not a great kick by Impey. And he puts his hand up and says, yeah, that was not good enough. And Chol can't get there before the boundary line. A throw in 65 out from the Hawks goal.
Yeah, but that's what he wants to do. See, Chol's led Mark Keane out of the goal square. So if he honours that lead, Keane is obligated to follow him the next time. Otherwise, Keane will go back and be third man up and give an easy spoil.
O'Brien wins the tap down from the throwing, but it's a Hawthorn football. Newcomb shrugs the tackle and shapes a kick nicely. Low down to Chol, who marks on the lead. 35 metres out from goal, left of centre.
So Keane does fight for back position, and some backmen do that. They're happy to say, I'll give you front position. I don't want your goal side. I don't want to be buffeted underneath a big, long footy. I'll try and shut down the lead, but I'm going to give you front position by doing that. And in that case, if your midfield's tuned in like Newcomb then, who broke the tackle and speared it low, he drew Chol to the kick.
We're right behind this. Mabior Chol back in the team this week, has 32 goals on the season. In he comes, shot at goal, is delightful, was never missing, and the Hawks have got 5-2, 32 Hawthorn. Adelaide are behind 25 minutes into the opening term, and that's on the Host Plus Stats and Plus scoreboard. There's all sorts of sirens and red lights flashing in the Adelaide coaches box.
Just a snicker over 3 minutes left in this quarter. We have a look at the stat sheet now, thanks to Milwaukee. Will Day, 9 possessions. 6 are contested possessions in the middle of the ground. He's the best player on the field at the moment. And for the Adelaide Crows, their number 1 ball winner is Mark Keane. And that's from shuffling it around the back line. His contested possessions, 1. So he's had 8 possessions which have just gone so. Fair enough, if you want to contain the footy, I've got no problem with that. But it just shows you where the ball has been living. Inside 50s, 9-13, Hawthorn's favour. I thought to the naked eye it would have been double that.
Meek has given away a free kick here. No, it's going to Meek. Gee, I thought that was against Lloyd Meek. Anyway, what would I know? Umpires decided to give it to the Hawthorn ruckman in the middle of the ground. Hawthorn 5-2. Crows 1 behind. Meek pumps it long to the contest. Big fist came from Worrell. Good piece of roving by Saligo. Kicks under pressure. It's a high ball. Running back with courage. Great courage. His battle. Also great courage from Fogarty. Neither could mark. Potentially a very nasty collision, but fortunately they're both up and okay.
Tougher.
Curtin kicks to the wing. Big spoil from Barris. Beautiful roving by Rankin. That is wrapped up by Barris. Big tackle holding the ball.
Oh, this is the most glorious football Hawthorn have made for the year. This is the stuff that you will put on the highlight reel at the end of the year. That tackle was a face clamp.
Barris plays on to Amon, who pumps it inside 50. Dear! Couldn't quite hang on to the mark. Play on, here's Joel. He's tackled. Ball spills free. Watson caught. Gives a handball back to Deer. To D'Ambrosio under pressure. He runs into Ginnivan. Gives it back to D'Ambrosio. Keeps the footy alive. All Adelaide here. Neil Bullen couldn't take the mark though. It was a difficult one. Now it's up for grabs again. 15, 20 metres out from Hawthorn's goal. We've got a stoppage.
This is grand final type footing by the Hawks. Now, they could get run over. You never know. But this is the best they've played all year.
O'Brien winning it down. D'Ambrosio, a big tackle. This could be hurrying the ball. It is gone.
Are we doing normal radio or is this Hawks radio?
It is that
you're supposed to be Switzerland.
I'm sorry, but it is that dominant. You've got to call it as it is.
Derm's got a glint in his eye.
16 tackles to 10. Make that 17. He's bombed him. That's just insane.
Massimo D'Ambrosio, virtually in exactly the same spot as Mabior Chol was 3 minutes ago. He has a chance to make it 6 for the Hawks in the shadows of quarter time. To the cathedral end, D'Ambrosio has missed just to the left-hand side.
All right, settle down. Sorry about that.
5-3, 33 the Hawks. Adelaide 1 behind AFL Nation.
I haven't seen Dermott this exciting since Chases in 1989.
No, but the Hawks, this is their best footy of the year. I haven't seen them play this well.
It might be the best footy that's been played for the year.
Host Plus, that's the Plus scoreboard. Hawthorn 33, the Crows are behind. And we've been travelling 29 minutes in this first term on the New Tech clock.
I've never been on Hawks radio either. I still want to go at that.
Ball work to the wing by Adelaide, outer side of the ground. Phil Thorpe's held up in a tackle by Amon, who didn't like the treatment he received. Umpire comes in and says, break it up, fellas. And we'll have a ball up, smack bang on the outer wing.
So the Crows have run another up into the middle now, which leaves Sicily as a loose man in defence.
Beautiful roving by Saligo, but his kick was ineffective. Impey jams it on the boot just before he's tackled to half-forward Miller. A good chest mark, and he's off to the races.
Well done.
Plays on. Tries to break things up for Adelaide. It was good footy. Inside 50. Scrimshaw does the spalling. Fogarty's got it now. Swings onto the right, and boy, did the Crows need that one. Great snap from Darcy Fogarty. Against the run of play, but it doesn't matter. Adelaide got that goal. Great play by Miller at half-back that set things up.
So Miller takes the intercept mark. He hits the ground amidst a bit of pressure from the Hawthorn players. Risked being tackled and turned the ball over himself, but he took that chance, got the ball forward, and they had equal representation forward. Fogarty gets the soft drop from his own work. He contended in the air. It dropped straight back to him. He ran the little U-turn and he was able to finish off. So, yeah, much needed, but they're well done, Wayne Miller, off the back flank, just taking the bit between the teeth and taking off for the Crows.
Dermott Brereton for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts. So it took 30 minutes for Adelaide to kick the goal, or their first goal. And there's less than a minute to play until quarter time. Back in the middle, Meek winning the tap down to Nash, immediately tackled by Berry. He's going nowhere, Nash. It'll be thrown up. 18 seconds. So there is still time, but it has to go absolutely perfectly for either team. It's Hawthorn with the football. The kick from Day up towards half-forward. Miller chasing it back. He will get there first for the Crows at defensive 50. Swings it back towards the wing position.
Great mark.
Good mark in front of two Hawks. His kick is up towards half-forward, but as you can hear, the siren sounds to beat any late chance for the Crows.
Gee, that was a good mark.
Great quarter of footy for the Hawks. 5-3-33 Hawthorn. Adelaide 1-1-7. 2 goals to Gunston, singles each to Moore, Chol and Watson. And for the Crows, Fogarty with that goal just before quarter time. Hawthorn by 26, AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies and Elders for Australian Agriculture.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Host Plus. Host Plus, winner of CanStar's Outstanding Value Super Award for the 8th year in a row. That's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. Check the PDS and TNT at hostplus.com.au.
Got a Mack, Volvo or Hino truck or anything in between and need parts? Get into Truckline with over 70,000 parts ready to go. We've got Japanese, North American and European trucks and trailers covered. And that means our expert team will have you back on the road in no time. So, whether it's a new rig or an old Warrior, Truckline has all the parts you need. Visit truckline.com.au for your nearest store.
In footy, you've got one guarantee each week. It's not the win or loss. It's not the coach's spray. And it's not the cry of, it's the 4 and 20 pie. That classic taste of 100% Australian meat in delicious gravy wrapped in golden pastry. Like coming back to win from 10 goals down. Nothing beats the aroma and taste of a 4 and 20 pie. There's a win in every bite. 4 and 20, Australia's original fan food.
Greenworks Power, Greenworks Quality, Greenworks Range, your ultimate battery power garden brand. Tame your lawn with our large range of mowers, trimmers and blowers. Then take adventure to the next level with our high-performance e-bikes, mini-bikes and go-karts. No petrol, no fumes, no limits. All backed by a 4-year tool and battery warranty. Visit greenworksaustralia.com.
Everything grows better with Nutrient Water. Everything grows better with Nutrient Water. From irrigation and filtration to pumping and lawn care essentials, Nutrient Water has you covered. For the best water management solutions, your local Nutrient Water store has the solutions to help everything grow better. Order online at nutrientwaterstore.com.au or find a store near you. Everything grows better with Nutrient Water. Everything grows better with Nutrient Water.
OMF's winter sale is on. Time to get comfy. Buy any base, bed frame or bedroom item and get up to 60% off selected mattresses. Like the BC7 mattress, Queens for under $900. Or the Refresh mattress, Queens for under $1,400. This week only, get an extra 10% off selected already reduced mattresses. Plus, stay warm with great deals on Manchester and bedroom furniture. Don't miss out. Sale extended at OMF, the home of mattress, bedroom, bedding and furniture.
Come in now to your local Harley-Davidson dealership and we'll set you up with a deposit contribution on select Year 24 models. Don't wait for your freedom. Our deposit contribution for your new Harley is ready and waiting in dealerships today. You can ride away with serious savings and even more attitude. And with 24 months roadside and warranty as standard, it's time to ride. Offer ends soon. Terms and conditions apply. See your nearest Harley-Davidson dealer for full details.
This weekend, don't just take a punt, bet with confidence thanks to Tipper. Tipper is the real-time marketplace for punters and tipsters, bringing you expert tips on demand. They're flipping tipping on its head. There's no gimmicks and no subscriptions. Just flip an expert tip when you want one and never pay for a losing tip again. Tipper, the tipping marketplace. Download the Tipper app. That's TIPR. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
If I asked you to go outside now, grab a shovel and hack through your internet or water connection, would you do it? Of course not. It'd cost you a fortune to fix, plus being without internet or water for hours or days would drive you mad. Yet digging without searching before you dig online first is a gamble. Or worse, if you strike a gas or electricity main. Before every job, search before you dig online every time. And never dig blind.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Elders. Looking for an agent you can rely on? Trust the team at Elders Real Estate and 4 and 20 pies. You can't have footy without a 4 and 20 pie. Macca's, I'm loving it moments. The Big Arch Burger has now arrived at Macca's.
Space here for Gunston. Collects the footy, open square, tumbles at home for a goal. Handballs it forward, Hawthorn's way, all the way to full forward. Gunston couldn't pick it up. Moore could, gets a kick, a tumbler, a goal!
Puts it inside 50 towards Joel. He couldn't get to the contest. Gunston could. Swings onto the left. Kicks another one. Hawks have got 3. Nash took on the tackler. More handballs to Watson. Watson squeezes the kick out and puts it through. Scrimshaw does the spalling. Fogarty's got it now. Swings onto the right. And boy, did the Crows need that one. Unbelievable start for the Hawks, kicking the first 5 goals of the match. This is AFL Nation, the 4 and 20 Traveller and Elders for Australian Agriculture. Darcy Fogarty in the last 30 seconds manages to get one back for the Crows. In a quarter time, it's Hawthorn 5-3-33. The Crows 1-1-7 for the Hawks. 2 to Gunston, singles to Moore, Chol and Watson. Fogarty the only goal scorer for Adelaide. Here's our MEGT expert, Dermott Brereton.
Matty Nix and the coaching staff of the Adelaide Crows sent Sam Berry to Jai Newcomb. Now, Jai Newcomb has only had the ball 5 times. I'd revise that run with roll, because if you allow Will Day 6 clearances, 9 possessions all up, this will turn into a percentage booster.
He was certainly running hot for Reeve. Will Day in that opening term.
He's still staying with Jai Newcomb.
It's only his 6th game of the season, Will Day. It's like he's never been gone. Crows, it says on the scoreboard, makes some noise. There wasn't too much noise in the first quarter. Here we go to start the second term. Dawson tackled off his kick. Adelaide have it anyway. Saligo got the handball to Berry. Up towards full forward. Phil Thorpe's there. So is Sicily. Great defensive mark from James Sicily, the Hawthorn captain.
So what they're going to try and do is trust Jordan Dawson to be more damaging than Will Day. They'll start against each other at the stoppage and then just go their separate ways.
Sicily up towards Chol. The spoils come back Adelaide's way. Keys can't keep the ball in. We'll have a throw-in 50 round from Adelaide's goal. The Hawks are leading 33-7 as we start the second term. AFL Nation for the 4 and 20 Traveller and for Elders for Australian Agriculture.
Gone for the jacket. So to his quarters, he's a bit softer.
It's a bit chilly here. It's going to get down to about 6 degrees. Perfect night for footy, though. That's if you're running around. Ball picked up by Impey, and he's put it out of bounds on the full on the outer side. It's the Crows kicking to left of your dial in the second quarter. Free kick going to Adelaide at half forward.
So they seem to have started this quarter okay. Centre bounce clearance. Been able to hold the ball in the forward line for the best part of the opening minute of this second quarter.
Keane goes short to Hinge on the outer wing. Goes for a stroll, runs his full measure, and now switches nicely to the broadcast side. Mark taken by Bond, playing his first game of the season. Hugh Bond into the pocket. Walker famed for the push in the back. I said play on, throw in, about 25 metres out from Adelaide's goal.
That's one of the few times with equal space between them Riley Thilthorpe will get pushed sideways this year. Barras got him on the hop and moved him sideways away from the drop.
20 metres around from Adelaide's goal, left forward pocket to the Cathedral end. Meek tapping it down. Fogarty somehow gets a handball out. Neil Bullen across the goal face. Oh, Sicily and Walker coming in different directions. Crashed into each other. Umpire says play on. It comes back to Walker. Snap goes right across the face. And through for a behind. It is the first score of the second term on the Mate Internet mobile scoreboard. Hawthorn 33, Adelaide 8.
Kept his composure really well there, Taylor Walker.
Doing the kicking honours for the Hawks is Amon. Chooses the outer side. Long ball. Beautiful mark taken by Dawson. Nice contested mark, and he pulls the trigger. Wonderful kick.
He was there a while, Alex Neil Bullen.
But it's lax defending from the Hawks, but Neil Bullen was standing there for a while, but Dawson hit him up beautifully, and Neil Bullen will line up directly in front, 45 out.
So basically he was just in the zone, the kicking zone. The ball gets kicked short of the wing. Dawson's third man up marks, goes back off the mark, spots up really quickly. And Alex Neil Bullen still standing where his own position was, has not moved and just waves the bus and he spots him up.
Directly in front, Neil Bullen has missed to the left.
Starting to get a handle though now, the Adelaide Crows.
That was great play by Dawson.
Yeah.
So 2 misses to Adelaide to start the second term.
Oh, Impey's played on. This is a bit of a set play. They space it though and they can go short.
Morrison, a defensive 50 for Hawthorn, chips in the aim on direction, got there on the bounce and enabled Neil Bullen to come in and tackle him over the line for a throw-in.
A bit to say, young Jake Saligo. Very plucky for Mount Martha.
Ball to be thrown in right in front of us.
He's a good kid.
Members side of the ground, forward of the wing for the Crows. O'Brien winning the tap down straight to Day. Gets tackled by Berry. He's going nowhere. It'll be thrown up this time, same spot.
So Berry's picking up Day at the stoppage.
Yeah, he's gone over to him now. And Newcomb gets it.
Yeah, he's kicked just forward of the wing towards Watson. Miller with a spoil. Then it came back to Miller. He gets tackled to the ground. Another stoppage, this time forward of the wing for the Hawks.
Charles' presence has been pretty important so far.
Umpire throws it up. Meek the tap running through hard was Day. Couldn't get a handle on it. Newcomb did. Clever little handball to Nash, who puts Hawthorn back inside 50. He got Falcon, Marbiol Chol. Great smother by Morrison. Umpire said it's a free kick though going to Adelaide. And it's going to be taken by Keane, who's been very busy. Keane kicks into the corridor marked by Millera. Displays it out wide. Lovely kick. Mark taken by Cumming.
Neil Bullen's worked really hard. He hasn't spotted him up yet.
Coming down the line, but he misses his target. Scrimshaw got clean bowl, but had time to go back and pick up the share and gives it to Barras. From defensive 50 goes long. Watson got pushed out of the way by Millera. Millera couldn't take the mark now. Now Watson comes up with a footy, then loses it. Got the handball out there to D'Ambrosio. There's a poor handball, coughed it up. Now on the counter, can the Crows make them pay? Fogarty, he's tackled. Gee, the pressure's high from Hawthorn. Crows still have possession though. Cumming kicks it long. Impey back with a flight of the ball, knocks it over the line, and we've got a throw in. 33 plays 9. Mate Internet and mobile scoreboard. $30 off for 6 months with Mate Internet.
The old made him earn it.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Walker on the back of Jarman Impey then.
Heard Impey.
Yeah, he was just, a little bit careless, but deliberately, forcefully careless.
O'Brien took it out of the ruck, handballs to Rankin, deep in the pocket of full forward off Philthorpe, dropped an absolute sitter, then gets back to his feet and kicks the goal.
So Sicily's had to guard Philthorpe because of the matchups for the last 45 seconds. He's just too big. It's too big for him in the goal square. So that was worked really well by the other Adelaide forwards. Barras is trapped up where the ball was.
He was very lucky, Philthorpe. It was an absolute sitter that he dropped in front of his eyes. It was just fortunate that when it bounced back to him. And as a result, he was able to just snap it over his shoulder from 10 metres and bounce it through. So the Crows now have got 2 in a row, either side of quarter time. And as a result of that, they get back within 18 points. Hawthorn 5-3, Adelaide 2-3. So 18 points the difference, 7 played second term.
Yeah, they play pretty physical. I mean, you think of that tackle on Will Day. I mean, Berry will get cited for that. It was a full 360 slam. His head into the ground. He got up straight away, Will Day. But that's the action which he stays down. That's big weeks.
Crows fighting back. They've kicked the last 2 from the stoppage. They get the clearance. Inside 50 it goes. Walker almost trapped it. Now paddles to Curtin to Dawson. Somehow finds space through traffic and kicks a magnificent goal. Beaumont's new hybrid laminate engineered timber range is in store now. Goal of the day. He picked up the pill. He weaved his way through traffic and banged a 45-metre left foot drop putt. The Crows have got 3 in a row and they're back in town.
So the beautiful sidestepping by Jordan Dawson. He's able to not panic with the ball while under real pressure. There was good heat from the Hawks. Turns to go inside, keeps his steps balanced, and therefore off of that 3 steps, once he accelerated going forward, he's able to just kick really, really well balanced. Wonderful goal, captain's goal, if you may say. And once again, it's going on clearance out of the centre. So the Crows have stepped up their midfield activity in terms of clearance now. 4-3 in this quarter.
You don't usually see that sort of emotion from Dawson.
No, it was charged, wasn't it?
It really was. Back in the middle we go again. What's going to emerge from this clearance? It's a Hawthorn ball. Newcomb, a handball to Morrison. Handballs to Nash. Handballs to Ward. Ward from halfway. He'll kick it deep. Inside 50 for the Hawks. It beats a lot of players as a whistle. Adelaide free kick.
Yeah, Gunston was a bit slow. His opponent...
Oh! Gunston gets put out off the ball. That's a bit crude from Murray.
Yeah, Worrell was going to be the third man up to spoil, and Gunston just held him by the wrist.
Crows kick it around in defence to Smith at left half back. Short ball to Dawson, still defensive side of the wing position. Hawthorn's lead cut to 12 points. We think back to that D'Ambrosio miss that only just missed. It would have been 6 goals to nothing. Dawson towards Curtin. He decided not to jump. Hardwick gets tackled by Rankin. Over the line for a throw-in. Hardwick and Rankin want to go on after it. And the umpire says, just go into your positions. We're going to throw the ball in left half forward for the Crows.
The umpire throws it in. It's Meek against O'Brien.
So they've got an extra 1 at the footy here, the Crows.
Meek gathers the ball and then he's tackled holding the ball.
Lloyd, don't try and outrun them.
Free kick to Curtin.
It's a good run-down tackle.
At half forward. Man's got to know his limitations, Dern.
O'Brien's forward without an opponent.
Big kick by Curtin inside 50. Off hands, over the line, throw in. 25 out from the Crows goal. They're fighting back. They're 3-3-21. Hawks 5-3-33 on the Mate Internet and Mobile Scoreboard. Hawks kicked the first 5 of the game. Crows have booted the last 3.
Always going to fight back. Once they started to get a little bit of mid... That's a shallow throw. That's rank.
It is shallow. Meek wins the tap down and then it comes back to Meek, who clears up towards Lewis colliding there with Hinge, and umpire waves it on. The kick goes back inside 50 for Adelaide. It's in the goal square and it's not through for a rush behind, but that was a big collision there at half forward for the Crows.
Mitch Hinge tried to come back on and have a go at Mitch Lewis. You might lose that one, Hinge.
Hawks bring it back into play. Taken by by Saligo. Squeezes the kick. It's a one-on-one. Fogarty against Scrimshaw, and Fogarty's got the free kick. So he was pushed out of the contest by Scrimshaw. So he's got the footy and he's in
not
range.
without a chance.
He'll be kicking from about 51 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Free kicks in the second quarter, 4-0 in favour of the Crows. But that's there. The last two have been there. No problem.
Fogarty, kick one. Started the ball rolling for Adelaide late in that first quarter. He's hooked it badly. 20 out from goal. Barris spikes it over the line for a throw-in. So Adelaide doing most of the attacking. 5-3-33 Hawthorn. Adelaide 3-4-22. And we've been going 11 minutes 45 seconds in the second term on the New Tech Automation for Manufacturing clock.
Yeah, that means the Hawks haven't scored in nearly 12 minutes of play in this second quarter. From the throw-in, deep in Adelaide's attacking zone. McDonald got a handball to Nash. Under pressure, kicks over his shoulder to defensive 50. Dawson thought he was going to mark it, but Lewis came over the top and scored it out of play for a throw-in 50 around from Adelaide's goal.
Any stats, Dermott, you see for Milwaukee? M12 stock up now on?
Yeah, well, Adelaide have got better around the footy. 9-14 in the contested possession this quarter after being done in the first quarter.
From the throw-in, O'Brien taps it down. Dawson again. Dawson controls it. Dawson kicks. Dawson goals.
And clearance.
That one as good as his previous goal.
It was. Tremendous goal. It's onto the left foot. It's running him into an angle where he shouldn't find it that easy to kick, but he's so gifted with his feet.
So Adelaide, they've now got within 5 points. The Crows 4-4-28. Hawthorn 5-3-33. 13 minutes gone, second term. Will they make it to that mobile scoreboard? So they said they were going to back him in. It was Davis, Dawson.
Yeah.
Day has the first quarter, Dawson has the second.
But the thing
term.
is, it's shaping as a ripping contest, because in the first quarter, I don't think Adelaide were bad. It's just that Hawthorn was so good. They just did it their way. They got clearance and they took advantage of it. This quarter, Adelaide have been super good. Their pressure's been great and they've won clearance. So once it's gone into their forward line, they've kicked, they've got the resultant goal. So both teams are having their moments in the sun here, leading into, well, we're halfway through the second quarter now.
Jordan Dawson leading from the front, going head-to-head with Newcomb at the moment. Peatling against Dave from the stoppage. Neither could grab it. Picked up by Smith. Just manages to get boot to ball in time. D'Ambrosio get there first for the Hawks on the outer wing. Not a great handball to Impey. Puts him under the pump. Has to give it back to D'Ambrosio. Now Hardwick gives it to the big ruckman. Never handball to a ruckman, and his handball misses the target. Umpire says throw it in on the outer wing.
We didn't hear too much of them in the first quarter, the Adelaide fans.
No, they're on now.
They're on now.
They're into it.
5 points Hawthorn's lead on the main internet and mobile scoreboard. Throw in on the outer wing. One down by Philthorpe to the front. Day collects for Hawthorn. Bounces a handball to Ward, who runs out of room with Berry in pursuit. It'll be thrown in again, same spot. Dermott Brereton, our expert tonight for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts.
So it's good when you get a boundary line throw in the true centre wing area, because both teams are still brave enough in that scenario to go with equal numbers ahead of the footy and behind the footy.
Philthorpe knocked it down, but straight to Meek, who gave the handball to Ward. Day gets tackled well by Berry. Got a handball away to D'Ambrosio running the boundary, kicking towards half forward. Chol was there, cleared him. Smith gets back first for the Crows, handballs over his head through the hands of Gunston. He comes back to Gunston, gets tackled to the ground. Umpire is going to call Holly the ball. Free kick to the Crows.
Yeah, he's trying to be creative with it. Yep, it's a free kick. No problem with that. Hang on to it if you're going to be creative with it, and you run the risk of being caught holding the ball.
So the Crows have possession. Work it down the line to half-back. Mark taken by Murray. Broadcast side. Adelaide going left of your dial in this second term. Kicks to a contest. Now it's a free kick for pushing it back. No, it's going pushing it back to Adelaide, to Taylor Walker, who tried to milk the 50.
Oh, that's not a free, umpire.
No, it was a poor decision.
Not a free. There was was no moving into the crowd's paid that one.
Walker goes short, and it's marked by Miller.
When you see some of the things blokes can do from behind these days, that is not a free.
Miller into the hole to Phil Thorpe. Beautiful kick.
Is there something about the left-hand end?
At the moment there is. Beautiful weight kick from Miller, and Phil Thorpe too big, and he's taken the mark directly in front, and he'll be kicking from 40 metres out. This, can you believe, to put Adelaide in front?
Well, it's clever play because he made Lloyd Meek play that like a full back, and he's incapable of doing that.
Phil Thorpe shouldn't miss, directly in front. The crowd tells the story. 2 to Phil Thorpe, 2 to Dawson this quarter, and Adelaide have kicked 4 in a row. Make that 5 in a row, and now they're in front by 1 point. Incredible fight back on the Mate Internet and Mobile scoreboard.
Sorry, in the first quarter, Hawthorn kicks 5 goals in 16 minutes, and now Adelaide's gone and kicked 4 goals in 9 minutes in the second time.
That's quick, isn't it? So if you have a look at the way the game's gone in terms of the clearance numbers, it's just on. This game is swinging with whoever gets clearance. Both forward lines are doing damage. In the first 10 minutes of the game, both back lines were able to stand up. But whoever gets clearances, contested possessions this quarter, Adelaide 20, Hawthorn 13. Clearances has come back to 7, but it feels like Adelaide have really controlled the stoppage.
Scholl in the ruck against O'Brien from the stoppage. Peatling paddles. Picked up by Saligo. Gives it off to Berry. Crows into attack again. Berry kicks a wobbler to the half-forward flank, and it trickles over the line for a throw-in. 65 out from the Crows' goal. They're in front by a point. 5-4-34. Hawthorn 5-3-33. Second term has been going 18 minutes. Throw in. Scholl on the ruck against O'Brien. O'Brien the tap. Peatling runs onto it. Hurried left foot kick. Almost a mark. Umpire says play on. Taylor. No, he's paid it. He's paid the mark to Taylor.
Don't you have to hold on to it?
That's, I'm not sure that was a mark.
We'll have a look up here on the replay.
That is not a mark.
No, he didn't control it.
So, Zach Taylor's been awarded the mark. He's kicking from about a 60-degree angle, and he'll be kicking from about 35 metres out.
We'll get that umpire's number, and we'll give it to him for the rest of the night.
Lucky mark to Zach Taylor, but can he make the Hawks pay? Adelaide lead by a point. Zach Taylor.
That's a pretty good kick.
Has missed to the left. 2 points in favour of the Crows.
See, they've been good at holding the ball inside their forward half in this quarter, the Crows.
McDonald marks the kick in for the Hawks. Kicks towards the wing. He wants battle. He marks. No, he doesn't. It's going to be a free kick against him. Hold, or even a push in the back. Free kick to Isaac coming for the Crows in front of the interchange gates.
Yeah, you got a bit of handful of jumper.
Goes in short to Hinge. Hinge's kick is dangerous. Day with the spoil. Miller came through. Dispossessed, holding the ball. Free kick Hawthorn inside the centre square to Will Day. Gee, he's been good at the warm-up last week, and he's in full flight today.
Just getting a bit more circumspect now.
Day goes wide to Battle. He'll kick it on to Impey, who wants to play on. He'll kick into the 50. Gunston on the lead. Oh, that's a good mark. Full-chested, coming at 1,000,000 miles an hour out to beat the football.
He worked hard to get that lead.
That was a good mark.
Even the craft he displayed then, Worrell on him has got more leg speed. So as he jumps, he knows Worrell's a right arm fist spoiler. So he turns and rolls his right shoulder. So Worrell's got to go a long way around. So he has to use craft.
He's in the right forward pocket from 45 metres. He's out to the right and staying out to the right. It's missing everything. So the Hawks still haven't scored in this second term through 20 minutes. Adelaide 5-5, Hawthorn 5-3. That's on the Mate Internet Mobile scoreboard.
Worrell takes the mark. Inside defensive 50, and his kick's good. Mark taken by Murray as he cops one from Mitch Lewis. Kicks backwards to Keane.
See, Keane gets all his kicks.
Keane goes short to Millerer, who's been excellent for the Adelaide Crows. He doesn't waste that one either as he kicks to Cumming. Cumming to the wing, so the Crows getting some separation here. Neil Bullen. And there's Dawson. Quick handball. Great movement by the Crows. Picked up by Taylor. He's dispossessed. Snap towards goal is Hinge. And it's rushed through for a behind. That was impressive play by the Crows.
They had him on toast there.
Beautiful ball movement. They just couldn't quite finish off their good work.
And the two number 12s, Will Day and Jordan Dawson, he just sneaked out the back.
Ginnivan doesn't mark the kick in. Great pressure from Neil Bullen at ground level, tries to slap it Adelaide's way, but it's called a throw, so a free kick to the Hawks. The Crows in this quarter have kicked 4 goals, 5 to Hawthorn, no score.
And Lloyd Meek comes down the line now. He'll kick from where the 50 joins the boundary line.
So Hardwick with the kick towards Meek. He can't mark at the back. It's an Adelaide ball. Smith just jumps it back inside 50 for Adelaide, but straight onto the chest of Barras of the Hawks. Can they get a goal, Hawthorn, before half-time? Can't believe we're saying that after the first quarter.
This can be a complete role reversal.
Yeah. Both teams have played stunning football going to the left-hand side of your dial.
Morrison kicks to the wing. Meeks there, Charles there. Day got a little bit tunnelled. I said play on. Keane again, another possession. It's a high ball. Phil Thorpe flew high, almost a miracle mark in between two Hawks. Just couldn't quite hang on to it. Moore, little underground handball. Spills to Ward, gives it to Morrison. Morrison over the top. Moore's there. Good stuff from Millerer to put him out of contention. Now Millerer gets the ball back. Beautiful work from the half-backer. Now the Crows work it to half-forward. Phil Thorpe's there. Wants the free kick for a hold-off hands. Umpire says throw it in. Mate, internet and mobile scoreboard. Adelaide 5-6-36. Hawthorn 5-3-33. 23 and a half gone second turn. AFL Nation for 4 and 20. Traveller and Elders for Australian Agriculture.
70 metres around from Adelaide's goal, left half forward. O'Brien and Meek in the ruck. O'Brien winning it down. Newcomb gets tackled by Berry to the ground. The umpire immediately says, I'll have it.
I think Adelaide have gone back to the way their pre-game planning now. And that's Dawson against Day and just back Dawson in to do more damage.
Day and Dawson go for the same ball. Dawson got hit high and will get a free kick. He made sure the umpire saw it, but he has got the free kick. 2 kicks out from goal, even for Jordan. He won't be able to score a goal from here. It is still a long, flat, penetrating ball. Sicily couldn't hold on, walking with the crumbs, gets smothered by D'Ambrosio. Great work from D'Ambrosio, and the ball just ricochets off his arms, out of bounds for a throw-in. He has right forward pocket for the Crows.
He's done that 200 times in his career, Taylor Walker. Kicked that snap goal, and he just got it thin.
Yeah, got a bit low, didn't he?
Yeah.
Another scoring opportunity for the Crows. Ball thrown in. O'Brien, the tap, Scrimshaw. Under pressure, loses it. Keys! Snaps! Misses.
He just lost the handle there. Scrimshaw. I reckon he's the kind of boy that Sam Mitchell will show that to him at halftime and say, I need better.
4 points.
More forceful than that.
4 points of difference. 37 plays 33. Crows in front.
4-6 now for the turn for the Crows. I wonder whether that will come back to haunt them. From the kick into play, it's out of bounds for a throw-in out on the outer side of Adelaide Oval.
They just jam-packed. Yeah. Inside 50s in this quarter, 4-13 in favour of the Crows. That's that thanks to Milwaukee. M12, stock up now.
Right half forward for the Crows as the ball gets thrown in. O'Brien takes it out of the ruck. Flat kick into the 50, gets away from Walker, and will bounce out of play for a throw-in. 20 out from the Crows' goal. In front of the old scoreboard here at Adelaide Oval, which sees the Crows 5-7 leading Hawthorn 5-3. We've got still 5 minutes minutes of playing time left in this second term.
From the throw-in. Knocked forward by O'Brien into the pocket. Ball's still alive. It's a goal. Neil Bullen's kicked the goal. What's happened here?
So Isaac Rankin, who knocked it back in, ran back past a couple of Hawthorn players and he shoved one.
There's going to be a score review as well. That's why there's the fight.
He shoved Battle first and then ran into the face of another, and they just said, we're having none of that. And so his actions have created somewhat of a little melee, which is all sorted out now.
Looking at these angles, we see the ball does not cross the back.
That's a goal.
Before crossing the goal line. Decision on the scoreboard.
So Rankin, great effort to keep it in play.
He was super, wasn't he?
And soccer off the ground by Neil Bullen. It is a
big goal.
Goal! So, yeah, great play by Isaac Rankin. And what a quarter from the Adelaide Crows. They were smashed in the first quarter, and now they're doing the smashing in the second.
They've been extraordinary.
It's been a fantastic game.
So we look up here. Yeah, I think it was Thilthorpe got it in the end.
Who tapped it, was it? No.
Yeah.
Was it Thilthorpe?
Yeah. And Isaac ran back and let a few of them know.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Derm. So Thilthorpe's got 3 in this quarter.
He's up to 47 now for the season. So Adelaide by 10 points. In the middle we go again. Meek winning the tap down for the Hawks. It emerges Hawthorn's way. Nash lost it in the tackle. Impey there in support. Rush kick towards centre half forward. Adelaide with the numbers. Miller got the handball out to Dorsey's got to be quick. He did get his kick away just in time. Up towards the wing. Sicily marks.
See, James Sicily, you should not be able to allow a player to push another with 2 hands under the drop of the footy.
Right in front of the umpire.
Yeah.
The kick from Sicily up towards centre half forward. No mark taken by Lewis of the Hawks. Ball free for slipping through, doing well for the Crows there on that occasion was Taylor. Now the kick towards the wing. It's floating. It's out of bounds on the full. So Hawthorn to win it back on the wing. Members side of Adelaide Oval. Adelaide by 10. We've played 28 minutes in this second term on the new tech automation for manufacturing clock.
So they've got to play a narrow line here.
Barris bangs it long to the 50. Lewis has been quiet so far for the Hawks. Couldn't take that mark. Nash is there. Tapped out by the Crows. Saligo swings onto the left. Beautiful kick to Thilthorpe.
Gee, that's good play. That's what I was saying before about Saligo. He can come out the front side of a pack with pace.
Adelaide maintain possession. Miller. Not a great kick though. Puts his Crows teammate under pressure, and the Hawks are able to see it safely over the line for throw-in. 40 metres out from the Crows' goal. There's 6-7-43. Hawthorn 5-3-33. Hawks kicked the first 5. Crows have kicked the last 6.
Derm's not as excited as he was before quarters.
No, he's not.
But I did say it won't go for all 4 quarters.
He did say that. O'Brien winning it down. Peatling gets tackled by Nash. Battle clears for the Hawks. Out towards halfback. Worrell and Miller are there with the spoils. Get it towards the boundary. Watson does a somersault with the ball in his hand. Out of bounds for a throw-in. So still Adelaide in attack, but still now 80 metres out from goal between wing and half forward. And certainly still in the Crows' half of the ground.
So only Cook hasn't touched it for the Crows in this second quarter. Chol, Deer, Ginnivan and Lewis have not touched the ball for the Hawks.
Newcomb immediately tackles. He tried to get a handball away. The umpire circles and says,
"It's got to be holding the ball."
Don't agree with you, Derm. I'm going to throw it up instead.
Well, you cradle the ball in one arm, you're tackled, you're still on your feet, and you take it all the way to the ground. It's holding the ball. It has to be.
Brian taps it straight back into congestion again, and this time Cumming has to throw the ball back to the umpire, and the umpire throws it up quickly.
O'Brien the tap. Free kick. It's going Hawthorn's way for a hold. It's going to be taken by Meek.
Well, about time. 2-9 is the free kicks in this quarter.
Lloyd Meek at half back.
Lloyd!
Kicks to half forward. And Keane again takes a good mark against Gunston. Keane kicks a sizzler to the wing. Oh, Neil Bullen almost a miracle mark, but did well. Got the handball out to Saliga, who sidesteps Ginnivan and now kicks to the 50. Keys keeps the footy alive. Trickles to the tip of the goal square. Getting back is Morrison for Hawthorn. Not a lot on offer, so he just kicks it long. Smith will get there first for the Crows. He's got options everywhere. And he didn't go quickly enough, and now he's kicked to a contest. Still might be the right decision. It is the right decision because Taylor Walker takes the mark. And I tell you what, Derm, the battle of the forwards at the moment, the three-headed monster is slaying Hawthorn's four-headed monster by a long way.
So what? Yeah, well, you can't really tell with Hawthorn at the moment because they can't get it in there. But the thing that happened there was Phil Thorpe is engaging Barras. Taylor Walker sees this and is able to make that drop of the footy to be the third man up. So he gets an unimpeded run at it while Barras is locking down with Phil Thorpe in the push and shove.
25 out, Walker kicks the goal. So Phil Thorpe's got 3, Dawson 2, Walker and Fogarty goals for the Crows. They have banged on 7 in this match so far. They've kicked 7 in a row. And the Hawks don't even look like scoring at the moment.
What an extraordinary game. It was complete. I still stand by that. Hawthorn's first quarter was the best footy they've played all year. And now they've been shown up. Adelaide Crows are playing footy that has said, that's your best, we'll give you our best. It is awesome.
Would love to have heard Matthew Nick's quarter-time address. 7-7-49 now, Adelaide. 5-3-33 the Hawks. 16 points in favour of the home team.
So it's 6 goals, 6 to no score in this quarter.
They cannot get into a scoring position.
In the middle we go again, just before half-time. O'Brien winning the tap down. Peatling had it for a moment, then lost it. Went through the legs of Newcomb. Meek goes in there a couple of times. The umpire waited a while, then he says, yep, I'll blow my whistle and I'll throw it up still inside the centre square. 49-33 on the main internet and mobile scoreboard.
So they've isolated Mitch Lewis. He's got Brodie Smith against him.
Peatling gets under one tackle. He's tackled with one arm. Somehow got a kick away. Hardwick for the Hawks. Got a handball to Newcomb, to D'Ambrosio. Got tackled. Still got a handball away. McDonald, Impey. And now the run of Amon. Out on the outer wing. Ran a long time. A long way. Then handballs to Ward. Ward's long kick inside 50. Keane with the spoil. Knocks it straight to the boundary. It'll be thrown in 20 metres out from the Hawthorn goal.
Got to utilise that matchup if you're Hawthorn. If you're coming forward like that, you've got to kick it to Mitch Lewis, who has Brodie Smith, of all players, trying to lock him down. He's giving away 20 kilos and, jeepers, probably 9 centimetres, 10 centimetres.
Meek in the ruck with O'Brien. The ball is bouncing around just outside the goal square for the Hawks. A lot of Adelaide defenders working well together. Keane got the handball out to Worrell. Clearing kick. Sicily with a spoil to the Hawks 50. The ball goes. It's an Adelaide ball and they get to half-time with a 16-point lead. From 26 down to 16 in front in half an hour of football. Amazing second quarter from Adelaide. And at half-time, it's 7-7-49 the Crows. Hawthorn 5-3-33. Phil Thorpe has 3. Dawson has 2. Singles to Walker and Fogarty. And for Hawthorn, all their goals in the first term. 2 to Gunston. Singles to Moore, Scholl and Watson.
So if you actually went to the paper now and said, name your best for the second quarter, they'd say team effort in the second quarter. They were extraordinary. They were, I mean, some of the ones who stood out, Riley Thilthorpe was fantastic in that quarter with 3 goals. He played it beautifully. He only had the 4 possessions, but even when he wasn't kicking goals, he was like the last one where Taylor Walker marked. They were worrying more about Riley Thilthorpe than they were about other outside influences like Taylor Walker coming across the pack. But Keane had a fair bit of it that quarter. Miller once again has been instrumental at half-back. He's shone in the last few minutes of the first quarter and the second quarter. When the ball did go forward to centre, it was Wayne Miller who was able to mop up and get the outlet receive. I won't say he was contested footy beast, but he was able to use it to great advantage. And then you've got Saligo around the middle, and then also the first half of that quarter, Dawson was on fire.
Half-time here at Adelaide Oval. It's the Crows 7-7-49 leading the Hawks 5-3-33. This is AFL Nation for 4 and 20 and for Elders.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Mate. $30 off for 6 months with Mate Internet.
Want to know the secret to finding a job that fits you? You know, really fits you. Like the perfect footy Guernsey or that on-field nickname that suits you to a T. With the best job matches, Seek can help you find what you're looking for. Search by job skills, work type or location. So, whether it's a more flexible gig, a bigger pay packet or a job that helps you kick goals in your career, simply seek and you shall find. Download the Seek app today.
Seek! And you shall find.
An important message from When insuring one of your biggest assets, you can ask, can I choose my repairer? Well, it might cost a few bucks more. There's a reason your insurance company doesn't want you to. Choice of repairer means exactly that. You can choose a repairer. Conveniently close and not miles away, genuine parts, an accident replacement vehicle, and a lifetime guarantee. Your choice of repairer, not your insurance companies. Choose Visit sheengroup.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Did you know that Cobram Estate Extra Virgin Olive Oil supports heart health when consuming 2 or more 15ml serves per day as part of a balanced diet? Cobram Estate is made from olives grown in northern Victoria, which are harvested and first cold pressed within 4 to 6 hours to create a premium quality oil. This is why every bottle is fresh and full of flavour, making your food taste even better. Cobram Estate, premium quality, great tasting, and the most awarded Australian extra virgin olive oil.
At Ozito, we know for you it's about leaving your mark. With over 125 tools for your home and garden, all powered by one battery to make it happen. Kick off your tool collection with one of our 3, 4 or 8-piece tool value packs. Or grab a battery starter kit and choose the tools you need. Because when it comes to getting things done, do it yourself. Do it with Ozito. Only at Bunnings Warehouse.
G'day, Merv Hughes here. New Farm's been there for Aussie growers for 100 years. Through prosperity and heartache, drought and flame. Through the unprecedented and through innovation. New Farm's high-quality crop protection products are formulated right here in Australia because Aussie growers are tougher together through choosing Australian. New Farm understands local conditions and the importance for Aussie growers to have the right products at the right time. New Farm, Australian through and through. To learn more, visit newfarm.com.au.
Living with diabetes? Ditch finger pricks with Freestyle Libre. Freestyle Libre is a small wearable sensor that monitors your glucose levels and trends and bangs them straight to your phone. Instant up-to-date feedback. No finger pricks. How good is that? And you can trial Freestyle Libre for only $15. Just head to freestylelibre.com.au to find out how. T's and C's apply. Follow directions for use. Read warnings before purchase. Free yourself from finger pricks with Freestyle Libre.
Discover the power of Direx, the cutting edge of tool technology. Every cut counts. That's why tradies choose Direx, the trusted name in diamond tools that deliver real results. Whether it's blades, core drills or polishing pads, Direx tools are built for precision, performance and durability on the job site. When quality matters, choose tools made for professionals. Find your nearest stockist now at direx.com.au.
Reliable internet should be available for everyone,
no matter where they live across Australia. So if you're living in regional or remote areas and are looking for a reliable provider of internet services without the hassles, talk to Activate Me. Proudly Victorian owned and operated, they understand what remote really means and can get you connected with a monthly contract and plan to suit you. For great price internet, no matter where you live, call 13 22 88 or search Activate Me to get connected today.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Elders. Looking for an agent you can rely on? Trust the team at Elders Real Estate and 4 and 20 pies. You can't have footy without a 4 and 20 pie. Macca's, I'm loving it moments. The Big Arch Burger has now arrived at Macca's.
Throw-in, O'Brien taps it down, Dawson again. Dawson controls it. Dawson kicks. Dawson goal.
Miller into the holder. Phil Thorpe. Beautiful kick. Phil Thorpe shouldn't miss. Directly in front. The crowd tells the story. Knocked forward by O'Brien into the pocket. Ball's still alive. It's a goal. Smith will get there first for the Crows. He's got options everywhere. And he didn't go quickly enough. And now he's kicked to a contest. Still might be the right decision. It is the right decision because Taylor Walker takes the mark. 25 out. Walker kicks the goal. Absolutely incredible second quarter from the Adelaide Crows. At one stage, the Hawks, late in the first quarter, kicked 5 goals to nothing. Darcy Fogarty, with about 30 seconds to goal in quarter one, manages to kick a goal, and in their second term, it is all Adelaide. They kicked 6 goals, 6. Hawthorn did not score. So at half-time, it's the Crows 7-7-49, 16 points in front of the Hawks, 5-3-33. For Adelaide, 3 goals to Thilthorpe, 2 to Dawson, singles to Walker and Fogarty, while for the Hawks, 2 to Gunston, 1 each to Chol, Moore and Watson. Time now for the halftime floor show for Choices Flooring.
The Halftime Floor Show for Choices Flooring. Real life, real style, real savings.
Choices Flooring are giving away the ultimate VIP Grand Final experience. You and a mate could experience all the hype of Grand Final week firsthand, then be at the big match itself, the 2025 Toyota AFL Grand Final. Head to iCanWin.com.au to enter now. Dermott, Brereton, the way Adelaide played that second quarter, they might be one of the teams on Grand Final day.
They could be. As I said during the call of the first quarter, I was having a giggle and laugh to myself. This is Hawthorn's best footy of the year. And it was. And then Adelaide come out and trumpet.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, they do better. They were extraordinary in the second quarter. Everything Hawthorn had done, they did, but with a little gravy on top of it as well. They were quite extraordinary.
Toughest player in the first half, Dermott Brereton, for Truckline. Keep your truck on the move with Truckline.
There's quite a few out there that have done some really good deeds and acts, but for the one moment, Josh Battle running back with the fly to the footy in the first quarter, didn't take his eyes off it, got met heavily by the oncoming Darcy Fogarty, which is not a sight you'd like to have running at you, and he never took his eyes off it. That was a really tough moment.
The unmissable moment so far for Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise.
Jordan Dawson snap and the Jordan Dawson
that
sidestep and to goal.
5-minute patch turned the game on its head, didn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and then when you say the next one, the breakout player for the first half for Australian outdoor living, bringing backyard dreams to life, Jordan Dawson, the goal kicker. That was a breakout for a midfielder to kick 2 goals in succession in that style. Was a breakout moment for him. We know he's capable of getting 1 or 2 a match when he can drift forward, but these were legitimately
captain's goals, weren't they?
as a midfielder pushing down into the forward line, following up behind, getting the ball again and stepping out of the traffic and snapping beautifully.
Around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse, get discounted prescriptions and save more money at Chemist Warehouse. No other games today, of course, but the one we really are looking forward to.
Starting?
The cricket has started, but the one we're looking forward to is tomorrow night at the MCG, Dermott, around the grounds when Collingwood hosts the Brisbane Lions. What a game that promises to be.
That'll be a great around the grounds. In fact, while I'm at home, can you ring me with the around the grounds on that?
I could do that, Dermott.
Yeah, just let me know the around the ground scores.
I'll be on air.
I will too. So. All good.
Who's leading the power play rankings for Red Energy for 100% Australian electricity and gas?
We love Red Energy, but if ever you see the statistics come up. Mark Keane is leading the rankings.
But he is playing well.
No, he's not. Really? He's got... I'll tell you how he's playing. I'll tell you. He's playing competently-ish.
Okay.
He's had 18 disposals, 6 contested possessions.
Right.
They've given it to him 12 times, and then he's given his short pass away, and then says, give it back, and they give it back to him. I would have him out of the... What do we got? We got 22 players each, so 44. I'd have him 15th.
Who's he playing on?
A mixture of the Hawthorn forwards.
Okay, well, Marbio Charles kicked a goal. Gunson's kicked 2.
Yeah.
Deere hasn't got a goal. And Lewis hasn't got a goal.
Yeah.
Who was the flexible player that we could have seen move in the second half? Flexalt, the only flexible oral lice treatment for sheep. Thank you to Flexalt.
Yes. Okay, so I'm having a look at this. Sam Berry's been thrown around a little bit. He started and trying to lock down Jai Newcomb. But Jai Newcomb started all right for the first 10 minutes or so. And Berry locked him away quite well after that. And then in the start of the second quarter, at stoppage, he went over to Will Day. They flipped that back now and said, no, we're happy with Day against Jordan Dawson head-to-head. We'll back Dawson in. And bugger me dead, it worked. He was fantastic in the second quarter, Jordan Dawson, whereas Will Day had been best man on the ground in the first quarter. So they backed themselves in, but Berry also can flip from one to the other.
How are the key matchups playing out for Seek for the best job matches? Seek, and you shall find.
So when he's opposed to that one we talked about, Barras v Thilthorpe, when he's opposed to Thilthorpe, Barras has actually done really, really well. Thilthorpe's had all these great moments when he's not on Barras. He's kicked 3 goals in quick succession. One was when Lloyd Meek was rucking against him. Thilthorpe runs deep to the goals, takes Meek with him, turns around and comes back and leads to the footy. So he forces Meek to become a full back. Barras is off the ground at that stage because he says Thilthorpe's in the ruck. So he beats him there. There's another one where Sicily's caught out and he's trying to play on him. He kicks one off the ground there. And then there's the other one where it's scooped back into the middle by
Rankin.
I
thought Neil Bullen kicked the goal, but it was Thilthorpe.
But it was Thilthorpe. So he's had all these moments, really good moments as well, against anyone and everyone except for Tom Barras.
Australian-made smart player of the first half. Look for the Australian-made logo by local.
I'll give it to Mark King because he's smart enough to get cheapies down back.
Australian-made.
and he's bluffing the people that are
by local. Who was the tackler of the first half?
Oh, the tackler of the first half.
Boats, Australia's ultimate fishing weapon.
I haven't looked at it.
Yep.
To the naked eye, the best tackle of the first half was Tom Barras on Isaac Rankin. I would say Berry's laid the most tackles.
All right.
Has he?
I don't know.
I'm not looking at... Where's the stat sheet? 4, 10... He's got 5. Yes, he is.
There you go.
5. Yeah.
That's why
Neil Bullen's paid for... has been credited with 4 as well, and Jordan Dawson with 4. 26 to 35. Hawthorn have laid 35. The Crows 26. Isn't that amazing? So you've got 13. Half of the Crows' tackles have come from 3 blokes.
Yeah. Who has been the best defender so far for Athena Home Loans? Tackle your home loans with Athena. Visit athena.com.au.
Well, according to our friends who make the stats, Mark Keane.
Yeah. Stick that up your jumper.
Because he's had 18 disposals at 83%. That's because he kicks it 14 to 16 metres every kick.
Cortiva Agriscience, the future of agriculture.
That is
so
wrong.
Chase Jones is the sub for the Crows and Warple is the sub for the Hawks. They haven't played as yet.
He's 104 points at half.
We've got to get to a break. Who has been the player of the day so far for Aviso Group? Don't drop the ball on insurance. Contact Aviso Group.
I reckon it's Jordan Dawson's gave them the impetus and the momentum in that second quarter.
That was the Choices Flooring halftime floor show. We hope you're entertained. entertained, inspired, visualised with Room View, our instant room visualiser. As we go to the break, let's hear the goal of the first half of Beaumont's new hybrid laminate engineered timber ranges in store now.
The goal of the day for Beaumont Tiles. Beaumont's new hybrid laminate engineered timber ranges in store now.
Throw in O'Brien, taps it down, Dawson again. Dawson controls it. Dawson kicks. Dawson goals.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Elders. Looking for an agent you can rely on? Trust the team at Elders Real Estate and 4 and 20 pies. You can't have footy without a 4 and 20 pie.
Need power, lighting or fuel solutions that don't cost the earth? Green Power Solutions is Australia's #1 sustainable rental hire company for generators, lighting and hybrid power systems powered by sustainable fuels that can cut greenhouse gas emissions by up to 90%. From major infrastructure projects to high-profile events, we combine innovation, reliability and environmental responsibility to keep your site running and your sustainability goals on track. Search Green Power Solutions or call 1-800-GO GREEN.
This ad is about neighbours Ryan and Jack. Ryan's home has been affected by recent damp weather, with mould appearing all over his walls and ceiling. Meanwhile, Jack is relaxing in a mould-free home. That's because Jack installed a Panasonic air conditioner with 24-hour Nano EX air purification and mould-inhibiting technology. Jack's Panasonic air conditioner means he enjoys clean, fresh air in a mould-free environment. And you can too. Search for Panasonic Air online to request a free quote today.
G'day, it's Jason Cunningham. If you work on the tools, engineering or in any specialist trade and you need genuine tools as opposed to a sausage sizzle, then come and do business with A&A Industrial Supplies. Family owned for generations, they have all your nuts, bolts and fasteners. Not to mention cutting tools, welding equipment and everything a real tradesperson needs. Just like our resident handyman, the Ox. Yeah, maybe not. A&A Industrial Supplies, London Drive, Bayswater. Ask for Brad for the SEN Deal of the Week.
An important message from When insuring one of your biggest assets, you can ask, can I choose my repairer? Well, it might cost a few bucks more. There's a reason your insurance company doesn't want you to. Choice of repairer means exactly that. You can choose a repairer. Conveniently close and not miles away, genuine parts, an accident replacement vehicle, and a lifetime guarantee. Your choice of repairer, not your insurance companies. Choose Visit sheengroup.com.au. T's and C's apply.
As with finals footy, experience is everything. It's the same with Gliderol, whose 50 plus years of experience means they have the expertise to make the garage door you want. And just like a Defender, Gliderol garage doors are designed for durability and to look great, because each garage door is customised to perfectly suit your home. Discover the Gliderol garage door range or visit the Gliderol Design Centre online to create your very own customised door. Visit gliderol.com.au for your free measuring quote today.
Sick of glue that doesn't stick? Bostik. Sticks like shit. Holding on really tight? That's no bull. Whether it's for indoors, outdoors, rain or shine, it bonds to nearly anything. Wood, metal, brick, you name it, it's stuck. You'll need a crowbar and a prayer to move it. Bostik. Sticks like shit. Find it now at your local hardware store.
OMF's winter sale is on. Time to get comfy. Buy any base, bed frame or bedroom item and get up to 60% off selected mattresses. Like the BC7 mattress, Queens for under $900. Or the Refresh mattress, Queens for under $1,400. This week only, get an extra 10% off selected already reduced mattresses. Plus, stay warm with great deals on Manchester and bedroom furniture. Don't miss out. Sale extended at OMF, the home of mattress, bedroom, bedding and furniture.
In footy, you've got one guarantee each week. It's not the win or loss. It's not the coach's spray. And it's not the cry of... It's the 4 and 20 pie. That classic taste of 100% Australian meat in delicious gravy wrapped in golden pastry. Like coming back to win from 10 goals down. Nothing beats the aroma and taste of a 4 and 20 pie. There's a win in every bite. 4 and 20, Australia's original fan food.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Elders. Looking for an agent you can rely on? Trust the team at Elders Real Estate and 4 and 20 pies. You can't have footy without a 4 and 20 pie.
On cue, we start start the third quarter. Hawthorn win the clearance, and they force it inside 50, and over the line it goes for a throw-in in the opening 10 seconds of the third quarter. So Hawthorn kicking left of your dial or to the old scoreboard end. 11 of the 12 goals so far in this match have been kicked to left of screen, but there is not a breath of wind anymore at the Adelaide Oval, so it's quite bizarre. Adelaide start this third term 16 points in front. Hawthorn have possession. Newcombe to Sicily. Measures the kick towards Meek. Couldn't quite take the mark. Umpire says throw it in. Now 45 out from Hawthorn's goal. 7-7-49 the Crows. Hawthorn 5-3-33. Here is Adam White.
Right forward pocket for the Hawks. Ball gets thrown in. Meek winning it down to the front. Dawson has a bit of a fumble. They all climb on top of him. Ball spits out to Newcombe. Somehow got a handball to Morrison. Gets tackled. Got a handball away to Ward. Swings it back towards full forward. Cuts it up. Can't take the mark. Ball jars free. Ball jars Adelaide's way. Neil Bullen. Lovely low pass. Finds Walker, who slides on his knees and takes the mark. Then takes on Sicily on the mark. On his left. Kicks well to Keys, who marks centre wing out of side of the ground. He wants to go quickly. It's a precise kick up to Curtin, who has some space. He kicks deep inside 50. Up goes Rankin. Can't hold on. Front of the contest. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's a free kick to Adelaide. It's going to Rankin in the marking contest against Hardwick.
It's called an arm chop.
Jordan Dawson's got a slightly sore right knee.
Are you happy with the free kick there? Looking at the replay?
Well, to my vision, it was to the outside, and the umpire was... Yeah, he's pulled the arm down in the end after he missed the initial... Yep, that's a free kick.
And in the middle of the ground, Nash kicked the ball off the ground, and he's sort of got tangled in Dawson's leg, and he's a little bit ginger.
He's opening the angle, and he's snapping a goal. It's continuing. All navy gold and red at the Adelaide Oval. After a blistering second term, the third term, it's more of the same. Adelaide now by 22 points. The Crows 8-7-55. Hawthorn stuck on 5-3-33. 2 minutes played in the third term on the Joyce Smart Tractor School.
So you ride your luck, and if you do that correctly, and once you get control of the footy, you should be able to massage it to advantage. So what happens is there's a kick out of the back line under real heat, under real pressure. It's a hack kick, and somehow the Crows forward has come up to the defensive 50 line, and it lands on his chest. Thereafter, they never gave up control of the footy. So they played it well. They got the lucky with the kick out, which was under pressure, but they've been able to make it travel to their end of the ground and score.
Dawson's still out there, so it looks like he is okay, which is good news for Crows. Hawthorn win the clearance. Newcombe to Morrison. Puts it inside 50. Hawks desperate for a goal. Keane does the spoiling. What a game he's played down in defence for Adelaide. They take the ball over. Is that out on the full? No, got to throw it in Hawthorn's forward pocket.
You're really on this Keane's playing well thing, aren't you?
That was a bump ball.
Was it?
Yeah, not quite out on the full.
Look. So Mitch Lewis started the second half on the bench along with Will Day and Jack Scrimshaw.
Ball 15 out from Hawthorn's goal. Worrell cleans up for Adelaide. Kicks a high ball to the halfback flank out the side of the ground. Nash comes into the picture. He's tackled nicely by Curtin.
It's a good tackle, isn't it? And Curtin's one of the few players who's at ground level capable of holding on to Nash in a tackle like that.
Ball up 55 out from Hawks' goal.
Right, half forward. Hawthorn haven't scored since the 25-minute mark of the first term. Berry for the Crows gets the clearance. Rushes a kick up towards the wing in the Walker direction. Gets past him. Hardwick for Hawthorn gives the handball to Battle. Runs a long way, takes a bounce, then pumps the handball on. Now it's with Ward. Confronted. Gets away from Berry. On his left, he kicks inside 50. Ginnivan there. Chol came late. Gets to the back. Coming. Pops up there for the Crows. Oh, no, that was a bit iffy. More for Hawthorn. Gets the handball. Ginnivan, centering ball, D'Ambrosio can't mark. Great defensive work from Worrell. Just when it looked like it was going to be a simple mark for D'Ambrosio, Worrell spoiled, gets the ball out of bounds for a throw-in.
He read the eyes of the kicker then, and rather than running to the goal line thinking, I'll touch this one over, I'll read the eyes of the kicker, I'll go to where the target is, and he's able to affect that spoil.
Meet the tap in the path of Newcomb. Couldn't trap it. Saligo tackled by Nash.
Wasn't that holding the ball? Has to be. He's tackled while he's on his feet. The tackler pins the arm, and the arm is cradling the ball, and the right arm is free. So at any moment in that tackle, he can handball that, but he chooses and elects to safe carry the ball as he gets dragged to the ground. Some people say, oh, but where's the prior? The prior is you can actually handball it while you're in the tackle.
Nash, 45 out, 45-degree angle. Drop putt on its way, and he's nursed it home, and boy, the Hawks need that. So they've finally broken their drought from the 25-minute mark of the first quarter. Their next goal has come at the 6-minute mark of the third quarter. The Hawks move on to 6-3-39, trailing the Crows 8-7-55. So the margin is 16 points on the Deutz Fahr Tractors scoreboard. Deutz Fahr Tractor deals are now on. Contact your local Deutz Fahr dealer today. The grass is greener.
Yeah, it's good hard play. They needed to find a way to get on the board. Needed to find a way to step up to the plate there, and they came through one of the negating type actions in the caper.
So that goal cancels out the earlier goal from Rankin in this term. So we're back to that 16-point advantage to the Crows, which is what it was at halftime. Back in the middle, O'Brien winning the tap down. Peatling had it for a moment, lost it. Nash goes in hard. He's tackled by Dawson. It'll be thrown up inside the centre circles. Umpire throws it up quickly. Meek winning down the tap. But Dawson got the handball back into congestion. Will Day goes in hard, gets a handball away. D'Ambrosio gets it out. Now it's McDonald gets a quick kick forward, spinning out towards forward of the wing for the Hawks. Impey got the handball out towards Morrison, who's knocked out of bounds. It'll be thrown in between wing and half forward right for the Hawks.
The subs, Warple is for Hawthorn, still unused. Chase Jones for the Crows, just a few minutes into the second half. I don't think Sam Mitchell is going to leave Warple off for too long if things don't change.
Meek winning the tap down. Ward's got a bit of space but stays in the field of play. It does, and then his kick is smothered by Peatling over the line for a throw, but it looked like the Hawks were going to go inside 50. 55-39 the Crows though.
Pretty unthinking kick there. You should know that once he dives, he's only got one action capable of affecting the kick. That's an easy sidestep for an aware player.
He got the tap, taken by Dawson. He runs into Nash, picked up by DeBerry, nicely under pressure. Now Peatling swoops, kicks Adelaide into attack. Scrimshaw, good mark. Very strong mark in front of Cook. And he gets things moving pretty quickly.
So they want to play on quick, Hawthorn.
Good kick to Sicily. Oh, beautiful intercept, knocking it to the ground. Was Smith, forces the turnover, and dip your lid to Brodie Smith, who forced the turnover. And now Adelaide have a shot at goal, 45-degree angle, 35 metres out. It is Neil Bullen, and well done, Brodie Smith.
Gee, what about the class? I mean, that doesn't... You're dead right on all that, but what about the class of Rankin just to drop that on a dime? Under a little bit of pressure, and he puts it right into the on-running path of Neil Bullen, and not enough weight on it too far that he has to run into Hawthorn traffic coming forward to
Usually a good kick for goal. Oh, lost him.
You deliberately did that.
I was just about to say
deliberately did that.
I hardly ever see him miss.
Usually a good kick for goal.
He was 30 metres out.
Even I was barracking for him to kick that after you said that.
He kicks it into play to Morrison.
Not really.
Morrison up towards Battle, who marks. They've already got it to the wing here, the Hawks. The kick up in the McDonald direction. Has two Crows to beat. Couldn't do so. Gunston, though, somehow keeps the ball in play. Now another kick smothered. Great work from the Crows. The ricochet goes out of bounds for a throw-in.
So he had to take that kick because King smothers, but if he sidesteps him, Berry was following up as well, and he runs into him, and that's holding the ball.
Ball will be thrown in between wing and half forward right for the Hawks, kicking to the Cathedral end. Meek winning the tap to the front. Missed Day. Peatling got the handball to Berry. Has a bit of space to run. Then feed a handball to Dawson. On his trusty left, he kicks towards forward 50. Fogarty there with Sicily. Sicily spills away from Fogarty and gets the ball to the boundary 50 out from Adelaide's goal.
That was really well done by Berry then. Normally he gets that 2-3 steps and he unloads, he kicks. But he looked around and thought, I'm actually clear of the pressure. So he carries it on a little bit further and they get to make their decision on their terms.
Crows by 17 points. The bottom of the pack is Hardwick, couldn't pick it up. Meek fed it out to Nash. It just got dragged down on the kick. Watson almost to mark. Umpire calls play on Peatling again. His kick only goes as far as Hardwick. It cuts it off and now switches play dangerously. But the Hawks need to take some risks. Nice pick up by Scrimshaw at half-back. Not a lot on offer. Has to have a bounce and draw a player. Handballs to Battle. Gives it to D'Ambrosio. Now on the wing. Broadcast side kicks to half-forward. Scholl keeps it alive, or does he? No, he does keep it alive as he's tackled, but the Crows win it back momentarily. Scholl, clumsy tackle, free kick, no.
Yes. You know when you said clumsy tackle, that is so close to being dropping to the ground. He's ducked under that. He's gone to bump and he's ducked under that. If an umpire's aware of that, that's play on.
Hinge with the free kick goes to the wing. Nice mark taken by the Hawthorn skipper, James Sicily.
Sicily members wing. Crows by 17 points. He goes backwards to Hardwick, back left corner of the square.
So once they intercept it at half-back now, the Hawks are trying to play on quickly. It's yet to come to any fruition.
Hardwick up to Joel in a 1-on-1 with Murray. Murray dropped it. McDonald with the crumbs. Takes a bounce. 30 out. Snaps goals. No, he's missed. Oh, he missed to the right.
He's running straight at the goals.
That was a layup goal there to the Hawks that McDonald missed from 20 metres out directly in front.
So he's running straight at the goals, and then at the last moment he elects to run sideways and kick around the corner.
From the kick in, it might be another opportunity for McDonald. Handballs to Nash. Couldn't find Ginnivan by hand. Watson attacks it well. Gives the handball out to Ward. Ward can't pick it up. He's under a lot of pressure. Now got the handball away. Did well in the end. Aim on. Picks his target into the forward 50 and Ginnivan got his arm chopped. So Ginnivan has been awarded the free kick. And Jack Ginnivan will line up on about a 60-degree angle. It favours his right side. He's kicking from about 40 metres out. It's a reasonably easy kick for a man of his skill. He just screws it around the corner.
It's not a lot in that, but it's the same amount as force dragging the bicep down as on Rankin at the other end.
So Ginnivan plays on and he does kick the goal, or was it touched on the line?
I think it's got
It's a goal. So Ginnivan's kicked the goal and the Hawks fight back. It's 10 points to diff.
Yeah, there's our knowledgeable Crow supporters. It wasn't
88.56 plays 7.4.46 on the Deutz Fahrt Tractor scoreboard.
Give it to him here. It's exactly the same free kick that Rankin gets at the other end. Yeah, it's a free kick. If the Rankin one's a free kick, it's a free kick. Yeah, it wasn't paid in the 80s or 90s, those ones, but they do pay now.
Dermott Brereton for MVGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts. That was a big moment for Bendix Brakes. Put your foot down with confidence, Bendix Brakes, because it is 2 in a row to the Hawks to get back within 10.
Yeah, but it's not convincing the Hawks yet. They're not convincing. Adelaide still have a good handle on this.
In the middle we go again. Scholl and Thilthorpe in the ruck. Scholl hacks it off the ground, but straight to Curtin, who came off the edge of the square. Gave the handball to Smith. Smith for the Crows, kicks forward the wing. Battle going back, takes a strong mark for the Hawks. They're lifting Hawthorn. They're getting themselves back into the game. Battles who's There's his defensive wing out of side of the Adelaide Oval.
Mitch Lewis down the line.
He goes in that direction. Deere is there as well, so is Newcomb. Front and centre, Watson gave the handball to McDonald. Tumbles a kick inside 50, goes through the legs of Gunston. Ball loose. Dawson was slow. Day came late, applied the pressure. Comes out towards Ginnivan. He's tackled. Tries to knock it on. Smith there for the Crows. Got the handball to Dawson. Scrubs a kick to defensive 50. It works. Worrell gave the handball to Curtin. Under pressure. Kicks down the line. It bounces. It bounces. It goes out of play for a throw-in.
That's such a good kick by Curtin. He kicks for the boundary line. He gets done for insufficient effort to keep the ball inside, but he kicks to a 1v1, 25 metres down the line, and he knows that the spillage is going to go over and they get to reset.
Scholl out-muscles Thilthorpe, throws it on the left boot, deep into Hawthorn's attack. Good mark by Keane.
Oh, he's playing a blind.
Who out-muscles Gunston, deep in defence, takes yet another mark.
Terms man back to Terms man Keane.
Settle down, you like. Kick us up to him.
Short into Bond. Bond squares it wide to Worrell. Short pass into Smith, right half back for the Crows. They come down the members' side. Smith, a flat kick in the Fogarty direction, in a wrestle with Barris. Barris with the spoil. Front and centre, Ginnivan for the Hawks. Handballs it towards Amon. Got tackle, got a handball to Hardwick. Kick got smothered. Neil Bullen cleans up. Handballs to Keane, caught on his right foot. Kicks into the 50. Sicily zoning back, taking the defensive mark for the Hawks. Wants to transfer play quickly. This could work well. Battle marks, runs on, gets away from Walker and kicks nicely out to the right half-back flank. Now they'll get towards the wing. This is working well for Hawthorn. Morrison marks. He's got it at halfway out on the outer side of Adelaide Oval.
Smack bang on the outer wing. Morrison's got a little short one at half forward. It's Moore. Moore plays on straight away into the pockets. And the kicks come off. It finds big Lloyd Meek, who's 50 metres out where the boundary line meets the 50-metre arc. He goes short.
Yeah, Walker's on. Hasn't been updated yet.
Hazard a guess.
Is it Chol? Did they ruck Chol out?
So he kicks the ball deep into attack. Newcomb's there. Today! Day snaps a goal! He's got it!
He's bounced it.
He has bounced it over the head of the defender.
Deer's got subbed out.
So Deer is out. Warple comes on and Will Day has kicked the goal. And it's a 4-point ball game. 8-8-56 Adelaide, 8-4-52 Hawthorn on the Deutz Fahrt Tractors scoreboard.
There's a red line through Calcidir, so it might be... It could be injury that's seen him sidelined here. But he has battled a bit tonight. One kick, two handballs. But let's go back to the Will Day once again. And Lloyd Meek pushed forward and led to the boundary, marked the ball. They ended up getting it to the top of the square. Their intensity increased once again when they got it to the front of the goal square there. So they are now without Calcidir, so they're back to more your conventional forward half setup.
3 goals in 9 minutes on the new tech automation for manufacturing clock to the Hawks to get within 4 points. 3 goals to 1 in the term so far from the restart. Gee, Peatling got tackled, but he got tackled high. It was a strong tackle from Meek. It was over the shoulder, according to the umpire. Peatling in the middle of Adelaide Oval. Goes out wide. Fogarty comes late. Can't mark Sicily with the spoils. It gets to the back, though. Rankin kicks towards full forward. It goes across the face. And Impey takes the defensive mark for the Hawks. Wants to reload quickly in the Morrison direction. Can't take the mark, but he gets a free kick.
That should have been out of bounds. Impey played on from outside the field and took about 4 steps on the outside of the boundary.
It's against Taylor. The Hawks chain it out with handballs. Impey involved. Battle. Now Morrison nearly at halfway. Spot up kick. Works well. The mark completed by Will Day. He can handball back to Morrison, who kept running. They're running in a wave here, the Hawks. Morrison gets it back again. Chain up handball to Amon. Amon to the open side. D'Ambrosio. Not quite. Didn't quite hold on. Great spoil in the end by Curtin. That was fantastic work. Laura with a clearing kick, but only as far as Sicily.
Hawks on the march. Sicily, beautiful kick inside 50. Measured it perfectly, and D'Ambrosio in the end ends up with the mark, and he can have a shot at goal, and would you believe, would put Hawthorn back in front.
It's just a hint that they're trying to get that slick handball going again, which the Crows couldn't deal with in the first quarter. It's almost like even when we don't have to handball, we're going to just start the motion of handballing to make others run around the footy.
Massimo D'Ambrosio missed a gettable goal in the first quarter. This from 47 metres out, as good as directly in front. The Hawks are back in front. D'Ambrosio kicks the goal. What a game at Adelaide Oval in front of a full house. It's a sellout. And the Hawks are back in front. 9-4-58. Adelaide 8-8-56. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 and for Elders.
So as I said at half-time, it wasn't as if either team was playing exceptionally bad in their respective bad scoring quarters. It's just that the team that won those quarters was so darn good. And Hawthorn once again, and I still think they're not playing their best footy. Harry Morrison's got it 9 times on the wing in this quarter. And what are we with? Halfway through, well, a little snip over halfway through it. And if we have a look once again, contested possessions, 28-21 back to Hawthorn. So whoever wins clearance, whoever wins contested possession, holds the whip hand in this contest.
Back in the middle, Meek winning the tap down for the Hawks. Watson inside the centre square, but he's beaten to it by Berry. Runs a long way, then kicks to centre half forward. Walker in front, couldn't quite hold on. Got the handball to Neil Bullen. Handballs to Keys. 40 out on his left, kicks towards goal. It's away to the left. And only a behind. Hawthorn's lead 1 point on the Deutz Far Tractor scoreboard. We've got 6 minutes to play on the New Tech Automation for Manufacturing clock in this third term.
Probably obligated to take that shot, Keys, but I felt like he could have swung back inboard.
Battle kicks in the Lewis, Meek and O'Brien direction. None of the 3 big men could take the mark. Coughed up by Warple. Fortunately for him, comes to aim on and gives it back to Warple, who hacks the kick to the wing. Miller in front, couldn't take the mark. Riding shotgun at the back was Murray. He lost the handle on it. Good desperation from the Hawks forwards to hold things up, and we'll have a bounce. Right in front of the interchange gates. Broadcast wing. Hawks kicking left of your dial. They're in front. 9-4-58. Adelaide 8-9-57 on the Deutz Far Tractors scoreboard.
Chase Jones warming up on the boundary.
O'Brien taps it down to Peatling. Got knocked over. Still's able to get a handball in the direction there of Saligo, who did well, but his kick lets him down. And zoning back, taking the mark for the Hawks is Scrimshaw. He's finds something he likes in the corridor at Sicily, who marks back part of the square, slips over at a really important time. So in the end, had to handball off to Hardwick. Hardwick's kick out in the Lewis direction. Has 2 to beat. Newcomb there as well. Newcomb got a handball under pressure, straight into enemy territory though. And it's Cook that got the handball initially. Now it's Hinge. He gets tackled, loses the football. Rankin there with a loose ball. Scrimshaw coming in the other direction, did extremely well. Got the handball to D'Ambrosio from the middle, goes straight down the middle of Adelaide Oval. Spoils come. Hawthorn though with the football. Moore chips it over the top. Ginnivan marks. Ginnivan plays on. Ginnivan pokes it to Lewis, who marks, but he could have potentially gone himself.
Now, if I'm thinking like a footballer here, Isaac Rankin, every time he does something good, goes back and gives it to the Hawthorn player. They should go back to Rankin and say, why didn't you put your head over that footy at half-back?
Lewis opens the angle, snaps the goal, and Hawthorn have 5 in a row.
This is a bizarre game.
Just like the first term, Hawthorn string 5 together, and they lead by 7 points at the 24-minute mark of the third term. Hawthorn 10-4-64, Adelaide 8-9-57. Who knows what happens next?
I thought Jack Ginnivan didn't hear the... It was almost like the man sneaking up in the Kadisha boots. You know, he was silent. It was almost like he was going to get run down, and he was totally unaware that there was a tackling player coming there. But once again, they've stepped up their intensity. They've stepped up their fight around the footy. And that's I mean, we have so much in tactics these days, but this game here, I reckon both teams know how they want to play, but a lot of it's on motivation to commit to the contest.
It's a classic game of football. Hawks by 7 points. Down it goes back in the middle. Dawson's there, was being held by Ward, giving away a cheap free kick. Play on is the call. As Dawson has a bounce, moves into the centre circle and pumps a long ball, looking for Phil Thorpe. Too big, too strong. That's a great
win.
Barras, that is a great win. That's the first time he's been able to outmark Barras in a truly one-on-one contest.
And guess who gave it to Barras after he took the mark?
Oh, did Isaac go past?
Yes.
Yeah, hey, put your head over it, Isaac.
Great mark by Riley Philthorpe. He's got 3, all in the second quarter.
That was a great grab. That was a key forward grab.
This to reverse the momentum, which is currently in Hawthorn's favour. Philthorpe right over the head of the goal umpire has got 4.
This is a game that is hinting into the future with 2 lists which are definitely not old, hinting that these 2 teams, as they grow and mature, are going to be playing each other in these types of games for quite some time to come.
64 plays 63 on the Deutz Fahrt Tractors scoreboard. It's the Hawks in front by 1 point.
Yeah, colossal mark there, Riley Philthorpe.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Barras is not a small man.
No, he's 197 centimetres. And I reckon he's dropped his chin when they've measured him on that one. If you stood next to him, he looks like a ruckman, Barras, when you stand next to him. And Philthorpe outgunned him for reach there.
Hawthorn by a point, 26 played third term. Back in the middle, Meek winning it down. Warple had it for a moment, then lost it. Forced to tackle Dawson. Newcomb in there. Somehow got it out to Warple. To Meek, back to Warple. Handball to Hardwick. Now the kick. Straight down the Staples. Chol knocked his opponent out of the way illegally. Free kick, Adelaide.
So you can do that if you're a backman, but not a forward.
That was
in the back.
That was definitely in the back.
He had to pull teeth out of the bottom row of grass out of the bottom row of his teeth. But geez, didn't he go down easily?
To Berry to Curtin. Another good mark from Dan Curtin. Third big mark for the game. Goes on with it quickly in the Fogarty direction. Gets front spot against Grimshaw. Holds on. Mark paid. Nearly at half forward. He looks up. It is an open forward line. Crowd 150. It's not paid. Oh, poor kick inboard. Almost intercepted there by Ward. At least neutralised the contest and creates a stoppage just forward of the wing for the Crows.
Starting to have an effect as well. The 3 key forwards are all marking the ball above their eyebrows.
O'Brien the tap. Smith's in there for the Crows. And we'll have a stoppage here. No, umpire's being patient. Eventually the ball comes out. Dawson. Handball intercepted by Watson. Now McDonald. Long ball. Moore. Can't take the mark. Scholl plays a bit of soccer. Nicely done by Bond, but unfortunately his handball was astray. Picked up by the Wizard and he misses to the left. Nick Watson.
He was at the stoppage here on the wing. That's great work from him running down. Good pressure by the Hawks forwards, and they just somehow hold up the Crows defenders.
Hawks by 2 points. Here's Adam White.
Warrell meanders out of the goal square, goes out to the outer side, wanting Philthorpe, couldn't mark. Keys almost throws it out. Saligo now on the charge with 2 bounces forward of the wing, chips it back towards Philthorpe, doesn't get that far, and Battle takes the defensive mark for the Hawks at right half back. He looks up, he's going to transfer play, so Hawks have got numbers members side. Sicily marks still inside defensive 50, plays on, then floats a kick up to Meek, who marks in front of O'Brien, still defensive side of centre. He's going to just take his time here, Lloyd Meek.
Lloyd, just kick it down the line, don't get inventive.
He's thinking about going inside, he will go down the line, Derm. He's wanting Lewis, he can't really get a run at it. Murray with a spoil, bashes it 30 metres Adelaide's way, the ball bounces and goes out of bounds.
This is a good game.
Hawthorn interchange games.
This is a really, really good game.
You want to be out there playing.
I do. But I've wanted to do that for 30 years. So Nash is resting forward. He's trying to mind Worrell now.
Throw in. O'Brien worked his way to the front, snared by Newcomb. Nice little dish to Ward. On his left boot, kicks down the line over the head of Murray and Lewis. Murray, he just slipped as he kicked and he just stepped over the line for a throw-in.
Probably did that. He did slip.
Yes. This ball's going straight to Will Day. So a throw-in 50 metres out from Hawthorn's goal. They're kicking left of your dial. It's on the broadcast side. And they lead by 2 points. 10-5 to 9-9. Dawson and Warple. O'Brien against Meek. Spills to Ginnivan, breaks one tackle. Left foot snap. It's not bad. It's a goal. That is an incredible snap from Jack Ginnivan. It puts his ear to the crowd and says, where's the noise? Ginnivan's got 2. The Hawks lead by 7.
That is a stunning goal. He's taken the ball from inside the pack at the boundary line throw-in, off his shoelaces, basically found the split to the outside of the pack, running towards the boundary, lays it across his boot from 45 and snaps it on the left foot, curling with the curve of the boundary line and somehow goes in. We've played 211 games, I've never kicked one like that. That is a great kick.
He's got 13 disposals and 2 goals.
Do you like the celebration? He ran to the Crows crowd and held his hand to his ear as you called it, Quarters, and said, where's your cheers now? Cheeky little bastard, isn't it?
Less than a minute to go before three-quarter time. That will be clearly a crucial moment for New Farm. Back in the middle, Meek winning the tap. Warple nearly onto the loose ball. Now forced to chase. Peatling got a handball away as he was tackled. Now Hinge for the Crows. Swings it toward forward 50. Impey read the flight of the ball beautifully and hugged the ball to his chest. Still 3/4 of a minute remaining, so time for the Hawks if they go quickly. Will they be happy sitting on this 8-point lead? Impey does take Walker on the mark, then swing a long kick towards the wing. Meek there, couldn't take the mark. Ball bounces out of bounds for a throw-in right in front of us at the wing. 8 points, so Adelaide kicked 6 goals in the second term. Now Hawthorn's gone and kicked 6 goals in this quarter. The Crows managing 2 themselves. Violent momentum swings in this match. From the throw-in, O'Brien wins it to the front. Dawson's lurking, so is Peatling. He's well tackled by Newcomb. And it will be locked up with still 20 seconds to go before three-quarter time.
James Warple's actually been really good value since he's come on. He's had the 5 possessions in short time, but his tackling and effectiveness around the footy. And he's playing against Jordan Dawson. He's not tagging, he's just taking him on head-to-head.
James Warple still yet to be signed for next year. He's a free agent. Curtin picks it up, kicks smothered by Warple, and that ends a very entertaining third quarter where the Hawks have fought back. They kicked 6 goals to 2, and at the last break it's 11-5-71 Hawthorn. Adelaide 9-9-63 for the Hawks. 2 to Ginnivan, 2 to Gunston. Singles to Lewis, Nash, Day, Moore, D'Ambrosio, Chol and Watson Moore for the Hawks. 4 to Thilthorpe, 2 to Dawson, and 1 each to Walker, Rankin and Fogarty. Get set for a rip-snorting last quarter. So much on the line. This is AFL Nation for 4 and 20 and for Elders.
That quarter on AFL Nation was the Deutz-Bar Tractors. Deals are on now. Contact your local Deutz-Bar dealer today. The grass is greener.
Ozito brushless home and garden power tools are built to work. Tough isn't something you just claim. It's something you prove. It's about handling the hard, repetitive stuff without giving up. Testing what you're made of and what you're working with. When it comes to doing tough jobs around the home, do it yourself. Ozito brushless power tools. Do you. Only at Bunnings Warehouse.
Did you know that Cobram Estate extra virgin olive oil supports heart health when consuming 2 or more 15ml serves per day as part of a balanced diet? Cobram Estate is made from olives grown in northern Victoria, which are harvested and first cold pressed within 4 to 6 hours to create a premium quality oil. This is why every bottle is fresh and full of flavour, making your food taste even better. Cobram Estate, premium quality, great tasting, and the most awarded Australian extra virgin olive oil.
Need power, lighting or fuel solutions that don't cost the earth? Green Power Solutions is Australia's #1 sustainable rental hire company for generators, lighting and hybrid power systems powered by sustainable fuels that can cut greenhouse gas emissions by up to 90%. From major infrastructure projects to high-profile events, we combine innovation, reliability and environmental responsibility to keep your site running and your sustainability goals on track. Search Green Power Solutions or call 1-800 100, go green.
Mate, if I say the word laser, what do you think of? Laser tag? Pew, pew. No, you clown. Laser cutting. Close. Laser welding? Correct.
Roofing and Sheet Metal Centre can laser weld stainless steel in gauges down to 1.2 mil. Stainless steel roofing and rainwater products have a longer lifespan, are more resistant to corrosion, plus they look great. And with a lighter gauge stainless steel, you can get these benefits for less. Visit rscentre.com.au/stainless steel.
Everyone agrees. Adventure starts with an Isuzu D-Max. No matter where you go, the Isuzu D-Max has your back. With 5-star ANCAP safety rating, towing capacity up to 3.5 tonnes, and total peace of mind with Isuzu Youth Service Plus program, including 5-year flat price servicing, 6-year warranty, and 7-year roadside assistance. So let's go. Explore the range at your local Isuzu Ute dealer today. T's and C's apply.
It's the 40 Winks Sleep Event of the Year, where the champions of comfort compete. In our first event, we have up to 50% off mattresses. What a spectacular start. Next up, dive in with up to 30% off furniture. Wait, what's this? 40 Winks are even handling the heavy lifting with free local delivery. Every champion deserves a good night's sleep. Game on, but only for a limited time. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. 40 Winks, serious about sleep.
Come in now to your local Harley-Davidson dealership and we'll set you up with a deposit contribution on select Year 24 models. Don't wait for your freedom. Our deposit contribution for your new Harley is ready and waiting in dealerships today. You can ride away with serious savings and even more attitude. And with 24 months roadside and warranty as standard, it's time to ride. Offer ends soon. Terms and conditions apply. See your nearest Harley-Davidson dealer for full details.
If I asked you to go outside now, grab a shovel and hack through your internet or water connection, would you do it? Of course not. It'd cost you a fortune to fix, plus being without internet or water for hours or days would drive you mad. Yet digging without searching before you dig online first is a gamble. Or worse, if you strike a gas or electricity main. Before every job, search before you dig online every time. And never dig blind.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Elders. Looking for an agent you can rely on? Trust the team at Elders Real Estate and 4 and 20 pies. You can't have footy without a 4 and 20 pie. Macca's, I'm loving it moments. The Big Arch Burger has now arrived at Macca's.
Saligo tackled by Nash.
Wasn't that holding the ball? Has to be.
Drop punt on its way, and he's nursed it home, and boy, hit the Hawks need that. Pumps a long ball, looking for Phil Thorpe. Too big, too strong. Reverse the momentum, which is currently in Hawthorn's favour. Phil Thorpe right over the head of the goal umpire's got 4. Spills to Ginnivan, breaks one tackle. Left foot snap is not bad. It's a goal. That is an incredible snap from Jack Ginnivan. He puts his ear to the crowd and says, "Where's the noise?" Ginnivan's got 2. The Hawks lead by 7. Massive final quarter coming up with so much on the line, particularly for the Hawks as they try and make the September action. It's the Hawks by 8 points at the final change. 11-5-71, Crows 9-9-63. 17 of the 20 goals tonight have been kicked to left of your dial, so that favours Adelaide in the last quarter. Jordan Dawson got the team in at the three-quarter time break.
Yeah, he talked to them for a good 90 seconds to 2 minutes before the coaches got to them. Now, I don't know what he said, but whatever the coaches thought at three-quarter time, they thought we need bigger bodies. Newcomb and Warple started to overpower the Crows in there. Dan Curtin has gone into the centre bounce here, not as a ruckman.
It feels like a semi-final. Friday night footy, big stage, big stakes. Meek winning it down to start the last quarter to Warple, who gets under a tackle. Handball over the top of Newcomb. Hinge came off the square to disrupt the play. Ball loose, comes Adelaide's way. Quick kick out of the congestion towards the wing. It goes away from Amon. Oh, Dawson did extremely well. Floats a handball over the top. He could get it back here. He might need to. He's in trouble though, and he just gets edged out of it by Battle, and the ball went out of bounds. Just as Zach Taylor was there to try and help, but his handball missed Dawson.
Got to know your place.
Play broke down.
Yeah, Taylor had to know. What's his name? Zach Taylor, number 19 for the Crows, has to know his pace capabilities.
Throw in, nice tap by O'Brien to Rankin, who shoots the goal and just misses to the left. Brilliant ruck work from Riley O'Brien.
It was seriously good roving.
It was. Rankin's kick was magnificent. It just missed to the left.
That was, you're at the stoppage, Rankin flies through and you go, I'm powerless to stop him. That was incredible.
So it's 7 points the difference in favour of the Hawks as Sicily does the kicking in.
He goes to the outer side, shoal up, can't mark for the Hawks. Gunston getting the crumbs. He can't just quite get a hand on the footy initially, then he did in the end. Handball comes out to Walpole, who kicks towards the wing. Lewis caught behind, forced to spoil. Ball loose at the front. They all dive in on top of the football. There's a whistle, a free kick to Adelaide.
Followed up hard, didn't he? He was the one who affected the spoil.
Curtin has the free kick, swings onto his left, kicks deep, wants Fogarty, doesn't quite get that far, and Impey takes an amazing mark.
It was a good mark.
He was never in the frame.
For a little man.
He's marked just inside the field of play in the left back pocket.
Well, little-ish.
178. What's that these days? 5'10"? That's little.
Kick back. Taken by Watson. Oh, a little clever handball over the top to Ginnivan was good. He picks it up on the half volley. Handballs to Warple. Warple's in trouble, runs into trouble. Price is one tackle, but not the second. Holding the ball, surely it is. Brilliant tackle from
Gang tackling.
Warple just took too much on. Needed to get it forward in a hurry.
He was wrong-footed.
Yeah.
You could see he was trying to get back onto his right foot and wanted the extra steps.
A great tackle from Worrell, who floats one to the half-forward line. O'Brien was in front. Takes the nice mark. Dishes off quickly. Kick. Mark to Adelaide. And it's marked by Neil Bullen, who's a very good shot at goal. And from almost directly in front 40 out. I'm putting this down on the footy record as a 6-pointer.
So one thing I'd say about that, really well run by Neil Bullen there. Clever kick to get the ball to him. Will Day pulled up without contact there, hobbling on his ankle, foot.
That's not a good sign.
No.
And Neil Bullen has
That's a goal.
Kicked the goal. 1 point the difference. And Will Day is coming off.
That's not a great sign. I didn't see contact.
I just got my glasses on him.
You're not bringing him off at the 3-minute mark of the fourth quarter with game on the line.
He goes straight to the doctor. Now just walks past and just lies down for a bit of work on the legs. So we'll keep an eye on Will Day.
He's the kind of kid that if he's injured, he's not going to tell the doctor about it. He'll want to go back out there. He's getting a bit of testing on his calf.
It's a big moment for Bendix Breaks. Put your foot down with confidence. Bendix Breaks with Will Day coming to the bench. Back in the middle. Meek winning it down. Berry gets it for the Crows. He's immediately gobbled up. And it'll be thrown up again inside the centre circles.
That Dan Curtin free kick before, when he tumbles forward and he goes spears head first and then he clutches his head, that's when the umpire gives it to him, gives him the free.
Warple handball straight to Keys from the second stoppage. Tumbles towards half forward, battles handball, missed the target, wanted Hardwick, couldn't find him. Ball is rumbling around. Dawson for the Crows. Handballs to Rankin, took it on the bounce inside. The centre square got his kick away just in time, and Keys stretches the marks at the top of the 50. Too far for him to score from here. He winds up. He gives it everything he's got. It falls short. It's a defensive mark taken by Battle just outside the goal square. He flares it out towards Morrison, who marks. Wants to go on with it quickly, but realises there's no one further downfield that he likes. He waits. He waits for the Hawks to reset. Now up towards and finding Lewis, who marks on his chest. Kicks on in the Nash direction. If it sits for him, he's away in business. He is away. And now Worrell chases him, tackles him. Handball.
Good pressure, Worrell.
Well done. Bond for the football now for the Crows. Handballs to O'Brien. Back towards the wing. Phil Thorpe, the man they wanted. Couldn't mark. Socket off the ground by Neil Bullen once and then twice to the 50. Defensive effort there from Battle. No mark. Fogarty at the drop. Left foot. Kicks into open territory. Saligo. It sits for him. He kicks the goal from the square and the Crows are in front.
Well done, Josh Worrell. The tackle contest again. Nash assumed he could break the tackle, but Worrell clung on and forced that ball into an error, and the Crows were able to take it 3/4 of the length of the field thereafter.
3 times this quarter the Hawks have missed handball targets.
Yeah, and that was a chip kick.
Costly turnovers.
Adelaide's kicked the only 2 goals of the final term to lead by 5 points. It is 76-71 on the Tyre Power power-up sale.
What a seesawing contest.
Once again, because they've kicked the 2 goals, it swung back to Adelaide's contested possession. They're +3 for the quarter. Whoever's winning that gets more of the footy in their forward half and is scoring.
Down it goes. Taken by Warple. Hacks it forward. In front of him is McDonald. Had it fisted away well by Worrell. Brilliant handball to Millerer. Millerer pulls the trigger to Saligo in the middle of the ground. A driving ball towards Thilthorpe. Brilliant kick. Riley Thilthorpe's 55 metres out from goal. He's looking to dish it off.
Curtin's lurking.
That's a long thumping kick towards goal. It's hit the post.
Gee, that's a big hit.
What a kick.
Even goal.
1 goal the difference, but Adelaide doing all the attacking. It's got to be said, looking a bit more full of run at the moment than the Hawks.
Inside 56 zip in this final quarter.
Aim on to kick it back into play. He wants Battle with a searching kick. Battle can't mark, gets edged underneath the footy. Battle then overruns the ball, trying to chase it. And then it's a big tackle applied there by Hinge, but the ball locked underneath D'Ambrosio. It'll be thrown up instead. Crows wanted the free kick. The fans are up and about again, kicking 2 goals in 6 minutes to start the final term. Umpire throws it up. O'Brien and Meek winning it down. Nash had it for a moment, lost it. Saligo gets tackled off the kick. Nash goes again. Dawson tackles him. Another throw up right in front of us, still on the wing.
So both teams, even numbers, either end of the footy, so it's an even match-up around the ball.
O'Brien tapping it down for the Crows. Saligo bumped off the footy. Meek from a standing start for the Hawks, kicks it back to true centre wing. Miller drops the mark. Still a chance for Bond. Got the handball out to Jones for the Crows, onto the ground. Flat kick towards centre half forward. Fogarty controlled it well. Handballs to Neil Bullen. Through the tackle of Nash. Up towards full forward. Rankin. Marks on his chest. He wants to play on at 50.
D'Ambrosio touched it. I saw the deflection. He screamed at the umpire. The umpire has... And James Sicily knew he touched it as well, so he just kept playing on.
And so did Rankin, in fairness.
Well, Rankin knew it was touched.
He has been taken to the goal square. It is going to be 3 goals to the Crows in the first 9 minutes of the final term. They are going to be 12 points up.
How can you miss that? What are we, 100 metres away? And that Clayon's...
Here we go. There's the goal. And there's a big break.
How can you miss that?
Adelaide by 12 points. 12-11-83 on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Hawthorn 11-5-71. We'll need to see the toolkit tempo replay to work out what just happened.
So take away the incorrect decision. They were still able to win the contest when the ball went up onto their back flank. The half-back line of the Crows is doing really well.
It's dominating.
Yeah, they're winning more contests than the Hawks forwards are. So that's giving them some propulsion from that area of the ground. But that's just a wrong decision from a bloke who's 5 metres away.
Will Day back on for the Hawks.
Here you go. Watch it on the replay here. D'Ambrosio touches it with his left hand, waves in the air that he's touched it.
But Rankin played on.
Yeah, well, he knew it. Yeah. Oh, look at that.
From the clearance, Meek gathers, gives the handball off to Nash, throws it on the left boot to half forward. Ginnivan's taken a bit high, and umpire's given the free kick.
That's not a free kick either. That should not be a free kick to Ginnivan.
So Jack Ginnivan kicks it inside 50. It's a Hawthorn mark. It's a beauty.
Oh, is it? He's on the lead.
Nick Watson.
He's jumped his own
from
height.
Nowhere and has risen to take a lovely mark, and he will line up. He's going to test him distance-wise. He'll be kicking from about 51 metres on a very slight angle. jump there. So Nick Watson has kicked 1 goal, 1 this evening. Only 3 goals have been kicked at this end for the whole night. Drop punt on its way. He's hooked it. It's a behind.
This will be a telling. This will tell in the end. The kick in here, if the Crows can get it inside their own 50 from this kick in, I reckon they'll show enough that they have enough composure to win this game from here.
Tyre power up sail. It's the Crows by 11 points.
Neil Bullen marks the kick in, up towards the wing position. Day at the drop, got the handball out. Now Morrison nearly at half forward. A long kick, Gunston in front, coming to the side. Free kick, Gunston free kick. It was a one-on-one wrestle, and then the third man to the contest was going to come in over the top, but the whistle blew and Gunston will get the free kick.
Well, Mark Keane's appealing for the free kick. He had him in a bear hug, lost his footing, fell to ground, and still tackled him by the waist before the ball got there.
Gunston for a third, 20 out, squeezes it in for a goal. It's back to 5 points at the 12-minute mark of the final term.
You can't play like that.
Adelaide 12-11-83. Hawthorn, they're up to 12-6-78. So Gunston's third gives him 48 for the season, which is the same amount as Riley Thilthorpe.
Yeah, once again, as I said, the kick in, if the Crows could have got the ascendancy to get it inside forward 50, I reckon they can take this game away from Hawthorn. If Hawthorn lock it in, repeat the entry and get a goal, she's still live.
Will Day back in the centre for the Hawks. Chol into the ruck. Thilthorpe will go head-to-head with Marbior Chol. Berry moves on to Day.
Connor Nash over onto Dawson.
What a game of footy we've had here tonight. Thilthorpe the tap, gathered by Day, couldn't quite control it. Berry harasses him. Now it spills out to Warble on hands and knees, fed it out to Nash. He's immediately wrapped up by Dawson. And the umpire will come in and ball it up again in the middle of Adelaide Oval. 83 plays 78. It's the Crows by 5 points. We're not even at the halfway mark of the final term on the new tech automation for manufacturing clock. Thilthorpe picked it up, hacked it forward for the Adelaide Crows. It was an awkward bounce that favoured the Hawks. Sicily handballs over to Impey. Now he's got a loose man on at half back. And that man is Ward. Onto the left boot. Long down the line. Lewis against Murray. Murray was desperate and managed to knock it to Malira.
Good contest between
knocked it over the line.
Murray and Mitch Lewis there. So Peatling has been asked to play as a pressure forward now, a tagging forward on James Sicily. They're worried about Sicily finding form over the last couple of weeks and able to spear the ball by foot.
Thilthorpe dropped the ball, picked up by Nash, puts it inside 50. Gunston's there, taps it in the Watson direction. Ball's still alive. Watson's trying to get it back to Gunston. Gunston left foot snap. He's put it out of bounds on the full.
Rammed it into the point post.
50,654 here tonight. A sellout crowd at Adelaide Oval. And they're watching a fantastic contest.
Would have taken amazing vision, but he had Harry Morrison 35 out in the spine of the ground.
Crows back out towards half-back through the hands of Sicily. Aim on, handballing it back towards the boundary. Hinge keeps it in, and then in the end runs it out as the behind post is still wobbling down at the Riverbank stand end. Adelaide by 5 points at the 15-minute mark of the final term on the new tech automation for manufacturing clock. Ball thrown in, Thilthorpe and Chol in the ruck. Chol takes it out of the ruck, gives a quick handball to Nash, rushes a kick into the 50 for Hawthorn. Gunston there, gets to the back, there's another whistle, and it is going to be free kick to Hawthorn. Hawthorn free kick.
And Adelaide are trying to say Hawthorn's taken the play on advantage, which I reckon they did.
They did take the advantage.
And they rammed it into the post off the ground.
There was great suspense because the whistle blew, but the umpire didn't point either way.
Mark Keane has held his arm in 2 spots.
50 metres.
Now
50-metre penalty.
So Gunston is going to be taken to the Riverbank stand goal square, and he's going to kick his 4th goal, and with his 4th goal give Hawthorn
he cupped it around his upper bicep. How can you not see that and think, I got away with that?
There's a bit of niggle.
Hawthorn 13-6-84 leading Adelaide 12-11-83 on the Tyre Power scoreboard, the Power Up Sales scoreboard.
So
this is a classic.
Over back to Adelaide now. Goes back to the centre. Clearance. Whoever wins the clearance will probably kick the next goal, even if they don't get it directly from this one clearance. They can hold it in the forward half of the ground. That's been the trend this evening.
16 and a half minutes gone in the final term. There's still almost 11 minutes of game time left on the UTEC clock. It's the Hawks by a point.
Lloyd Meek v Philthorpe.
Give that one to Meek. Taken by Nash. Try to get it today unsuccessfully. Now the Crows work it inside 50 from the clearance. Rankin slipped as he kicked, but made a pretty good fist on it considering. And Scrimshaw's happy to see that one safely over the line for a throw in Adelaide's forward pocket. The Hawks in front, 84-83. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies and elders for Australian agriculture.
Hawks by a point. Throw in deep in the left forward pocket for the Crows at the Cathedral end. Meek gets front position, wins it down. Rankin chucks it. Left foot snap. No way!
That is a good goal.
Yes way! Throws back in front. Rankin. Left foot snap. Deep in the left forward pocket. They're not meant to go through.
He read the hands of the Hawthorn ruckman Lloyd Meek then. And he works Blake Hardwick off the ball. And Blake Hardwick, I'd probably call him the most professional backman in the Hawthorn team. He doesn't get worked off the footy that easily. Well, it wasn't easy. He had to work really hard to get him off. But he did it so well. And then the exactness of the snap.
3 goals to Isaac Rankin, 13-11-89 Adelaide, Hawthorn 13-6-84, 18 played final term. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies and for elders for Australian agriculture. Can it get even better than this, Quarters?
It's an incredible game of football. Down it goes in the middle. O'Brien almost snaffled out of the ruck, but it goes to Meek, who just bangs it forward to the 50. Socket off the ground by Worrell, back to the wing, almost to Crows' mark, picked up by Battle. Battle puts it back to Hawthorn's 50, but Crows have the numbers. Worrell's the man who takes the mark and says, steady down, boys.
He regained composure. He's the one who socketed the ball out of the air, went forward, came back, and he got back up and got to position to intercept Mark really quickly.
Worrell kicks long. Walker couldn't mark off hands, spills to Amon. Nothing much on offer, so he just floats one back to half forward, and that's a good mark. To Worrell again. So he's standing tall.
Should have been.
The umpires let him off, but because Worrell took a half step in that direction, he recognises he probably should have called play on as well. Too slow.
Worrell chooses the broadcast wing, looking for Walker. It's a couple of Hawthorn players out of the contest, and over the line it goes for another throw-in. Crows by 5 points, 13-11-89. Hawthorn 13-6-84.
Day off.
Tyre Power Up Sales scoreboard.
Day comes to the bench for a rest. Warple is his exchange.
Second game back blues for Will Day, just with his body, I think. Looks like a very old man on the bench. From the throw-in, Nash gets tackled by Dawson. They all jump on top of Dawson and Nash and will be thrown up. Front left corner of the square for the Crows, who lead by 5 points at the 20-minute mark of the final term. Ball thrown up. Meek winning it down, wanted Newcomb. Berry used his body well. Ball spits out. Saligo goes in hard. He's tackled. The umpire will have to call for it again.
Tell you one thing they don't pay much of anymore. When you tackle somebody from behind and you ride them face first into the ground, they don't pay that in the back much anymore, and that's more dangerous than a lot of the free kicks they give.
Dawson with the clearance, handballs to Saligo, now to Cummings, swings a flat kick into the 50. Keys couldn't mark, ball loose. Hardwick did extremely well. Handball though missed the target of Sicily, who's able to go back and get the ball. Handballs to Impey, flat kick, Newcomb will mark in front of Dawson. He's at right half back, he'll chip in board to Nash, who has a little bit of space. He looks up, he's going to play on, he wants to draw an opponent, he does that, and handballs over to Warple. Now Raymond caught on his right foot, he's coughed it up, turnover, O'Brien for the Crows.
Beautiful movement, just got himself out of trouble with a wobble of the hips. He puts it inside 50. Great delivery to Rankin. Rankin one-on-one with Battle. Rankin pushes Battle away. What can he do here? Isaac Rankin, he goes onto the left, doesn't panic. Beautiful delivery to Taylor Walker.
And you knew he held the whip hand with the agility on Battle, so Battle could only corral him and not charge him. If he charges at him, Rankin takes that as his opportunity to step around him.
Gee, Taylor Walker did well. Just to wiggle the hips.
So you can understand the Hawks are trying to get that incessant handball going again, which brought them back into it in the third quarter. But the pressure of the Crows was able to disarm them of the footy.
We know he's a thumping kick. He's kicked one. He loads up. Taylor Walker bangs it home. And that gives the Adelaide Crows some breathing space.
Once again, the goal is created by the pressure made from those midfield players when Hawthorn look to handball their way through. So you can have all the study in this game that you want, but it comes back to will, desire, determination to hunt the opposition when they have the ball.
3 in a row to Adelaide, 2 in a row to Hawthorn, now 2 in a row to Adelaide to lead by 11 points at the 22-minute mark of the final term on the Tyre Power Up scoreboard. It's all about what happens next. You kind of feel Adelaide's 1 goal away, Derm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hawthorn
I don't
just
think,
clinging on.
I don't. If they kick another one, that takes them to 15, and my old theory of first to 100 wins has taken enough tax out of the opposition that they can't keep going.
Down it goes in the middle. Newcomb, clearing kick for the Hawks. Inside 50, no mark. Handball comes out. Moore to Ginnivan. Ginnivan gives it back to Moore. Moore not sure what to do with it. Now handballs in the Morrison direction, but unsuccessfully. Good pressure from the Crows' defence. They might get out of trouble. They do now as the handball comes out to Berry. Berry on the right boot kicks the ball back to the wing, looking for Fogarty. No mark to Meek. Throw in.
So Meek couldn't hold on. Out on the wing on the outer side of Adelaide Oval. The Crows by 11 points. 23 and a half minutes gone in the final term on the New Tech clock. Ball hurled back into play. Meek front spot. Berry's handball wasn't great. Newcomb intercepts, weaves through the traffic. Newcomb now inside 50. He wants Chol, can't quite mark. Front and centre was Lewis. Tried to paddle it towards a teammate, unsuccessful. Then a big tackle applied by Watson. Ball in the back pocket. Now in the forward pocket if you're a Hawthorn fan. Lewis up towards full forward. It works and D'Ambrosio marks.
Aussie, 16 metres out from goal.
Crows had it, lost it.
Yeah, lost the handle.
It was Gunston who somehow got the handball out to Lewis when they looked like they were outnumbered, and now it's D'Ambrosio shooting a goal.
In those pack situations, they don't want to let it out, but they run the risk of getting a hold in the ball for hatching the footy.
D'Ambrosio 20 out, pretty much straight in front.
Oh, he shanked it.
He's out to the left, he's missed.
No momentum. Came at it too slow. So if the Crows can, once again, if the Crows can go inside 50 from this kick in, I reckon they can hang tough from here.
So kick out wide is a good one. It's marked by Jones, who's come onto the ground. Not sure who's gone off. And Jones's kick finds Fogarty, who gets things moving quickly. Sicily won out with his opponent. That was Walker. Walker brought it to ground. Here's an opportunity for Adelaide. Little chip kick inside 50. And Walker can go back and just about seal the game. It's a tight angle. He'll be kicking from 45. He's about 2 or 3 metres in from the boundary line in the outer forward pocket at the scoreboard end. So it is a 10-point ball game if he manages to get this home, Taylor Walker. Should be enough. The old-timer's got 2. Huge kick. Taylor Walker comes in.
Oh, great kick.
Magnificent. He's got 3. And there's still 5 minutes left in the game, but you just feel the Crows have done enough.
Clemens D'Ambrosio with set shots, which have actually let the opposition in. And that was from 18 metres out, as good as directly in front. The kick in comes. They never lose handle. They take 2 marks and then a contest on the wing. Taylor Walker taps it down and runs forward to the spillage, and then the chip kick comes back over the top to him. And it takes a stunning set shot from the Eddie Betts pocket, a metre in, and he's kicked it from 49.
I haven't seen many better kicks for goal in my 40-odd years watching the game.
He's a stunning kick.
As good as I've ever seen.
Yeah, and you know what? Fogarty's not far behind him.
In the middle we go again. There's a whistle, and it's going to be an Adelaide free kick. So there's a hold from that initial stoppage, and the free kick is going back to O'Brien. He'll give the handball to Dawson running past, going out in the Fogarty direction. He'll get there on the lead. He dropped it. He dropped it cold. Still able to get his boot to ball up towards Walker. Battle with the spoil. Impey with the crumb. Gave the handball back to Battle. Goes straight down the middle. They're having to risk it now. Dawson couldn't take the mark. Day has a fumble. Ball loose at the top of the 50. Warple there for the Hawks. He's tackled as he kicks it. Ball gets into the centre square. They dive in on top. There's a free kick going Hawthorn's way.
The out of control umpire paid that.
Kick into the middle. Morrison couldn't take the mark. Crows have got the numbers. O'Brien did well. Picked it up. Adelaide regained possession. Berry to half forward to Walker. Adelaide have got all the answers here. Walker from a standing start puts it inside 50 to a one-on-one. No mark to Keys. He keeps battling away, but Hawthorn get possession. Scrimshaw. Hawks running out of time. Gives it to Impey. Impey goes to half-back, and it's marked by Ginnivan. Will Day is in big trouble. He's limping again. He looks in a lot of pain, Will Day. Now, I hope it's just cramp for his sake after that horrible navicular injury earlier in the year, but he's in trouble, Will Day. Moore. He's tackled. Umpire wants holding the ball. No.
No, he's distraught, Will Day.
Will Day's in a lot of trouble. I hope it's cramp, but it does not look good.
I reckon it is cramp. Even though he's distraught, he's gone into that. So the umpire's saying holding play while Will Day...
It's cramp. He should be play on.
Where's our game got to? Now, yeah, I've had a bit of fun on Hawthorn watch tonight, but you cannot hold a game up, Will Day or anyone, because they've got cramp and can't...
Well, it puts Adelaide at a disadvantage.
Absolutely, because Hawthorn get to reorganise. You just can't do this. Whoever's making it, Swanee, fix this shit, will you? I mean, this stuff.
So Day comes off, Ward comes on. Umpire throws it up on the outer wing, on the broadcast wing rather, as the ball's kicked to half forward by Adelaide. Kick inside 50 for the Crows. No mark to Battle. Got it to Hardwick. Gives it to Impey. Impey kicks to Amon. Carl Amon gets a 50-metre penalty. There's 3.5 minutes left in the game.
Sicily's gone forward.
It's 16 points the difference. So Amon. Oh, he's kicked into the man on the mark after all that. Hawthorn will still get possession though. It's picked up by D'Ambrosio. Gives it off to Scrimshaw. Goes inside 50. And the mark's taken by Gunston, who can go back and remarkably kick his fifth.
This will test him though.
So Jack Gunston, 48 metres out, wasting no time. Kicks towards goal and he's hooked it. So he had to go back. Well, he probably had a little bit more time than he thought. But he's hooked it, and it's a 15-point buffer in favour of Adelaide on the Tyre Power Up Sales scoreboard.
So they'll just try and play conservative scrap football from here. This is, take note Melbourne, this is when you can actually shut the game down.
Worrell runs out of the goal square up towards Dilthorpe. Strong mark from Big Riley at left half back. He'll chip it out wide and Taylor will take the mark. So that miss from Jack Gunston might be the Loctite game-sealing moment. Far strong, reliable adhesives that go beyond the bond as it goes back into Thilthorpe.
+6 for contested possessions in this final quarter, the Adelaide Crows.
Thilthorpe's kick goes into the man on the mark, still goes 30 metres Adelaide's way. Curtin, handball to Dawson. Miller dodges through traffic, but then can't beat the Warple tackle holding the ball.
Caught one in the mouth on the way down.
Warple has the ball, defensive wing. Goes into the middle. It works to Ward. Handball's on towards Amon. Amon out wide in the direction of Ginnivan. Will take the mark 75 out from home. Wheels onto his right. Looks up. Chips it. Wants someone. Sicily maybe. He can't take the mark. Off hands. It goes out of bounds for a throw-in. Deep in the left forward pocket for the Hawks. It's the Crows leading 101-86. 15 points up at the 32-minute mark of the final term on the Tyre Power Power-Up Sales School.
And they're going to go a long way tonight, Adelaide, to shore up that vital double chance in the finals. And perhaps finish top 2. They're in prime position now. Watson got caught high. Umpire said free kick.
So that's the one where the crowd, and I'm against it as well if he drops at the knees, but he gets the ball off the ground.
So he plays on and he misses. That's a ridiculous miss.
Yeah, but he's got to play on for the time aspect. He should
go back and kick a drop punt.
Jeez, that's the way he kicks him. And
One goal, 3.
In fact, that's from that sort of area. That's the first time I've seen him miss.
14 points in favour of Adelaide. We've got 1 minute 15 left in the game.
We're up towards half-back. No mark. D'Ambrosio at ground level. Handballs towards Battle to Barris. Has a fumble. Still good enough to give a handball to Battle. Again, D'Ambrosio. Centering ball from D'Ambrosio. Will be marked by Newcomb. Hands on to Scrimshaw from the 50. He swings it towards goal. It's going to fall just a little bit short. And it's an Adelaide mark, last line of defence.
They should not give up possession of the footy from here.
Coming in the defensive goal square. Just trying to chew time off the clock. Chip short, diving mark to Jones.
I'll tell you what.
Like he was fielding in the gully, diving, taking the ball with 2 hands.
I'll tell you what, there's a bit of Melbourne in the last couple of minutes from Adelaide.
Jones goes down the line. You can hear the crowd. They are so excited. No mark taken. Curtin's kick ricochets in the direction of Amon. Couldn't get there first. Rankin could. And he escorts it over for a boundary throw-in.
Well, their team's real. They know this is a franked, fully fledged, fantastic victory against a team which is well credentialed, who came out and banged 5 goals on in the first quarter.
Listen to the fans. Sellout crowd, 50,654. Curtin's been excellent. Puts Adelaide into attack. Tackle laid on Scrimshaw. And the umpire says, I will ball it up. So 10 seconds left in the match. What a game of football it's been. But in the end, the Crows too good. Over the line it goes for a throw-in just inside Adelaide's attacking 50. Crows win. Great game of football. And Adelaide has proved they are the real deal in 2025. Incredible second quarter where they kicked 6 majors, led by 16. At the last change, it was Hawthorn by 8, but in the last term, Adelaide 6 goals to Hawthorn's 2. And it resulted in a 14-point margin to the home team. For Adelaide, 4 goals to Thilthorpe, 3 goals to Walker and Rankin, 2 goals to Dawson, and 1 goal to Darcy Fogarty, while for the Hawks, 4 to Gunston, 2 to Ginnivan, and 1 each to Lewis, Nash, Day, Moore, D'Ambrosio and Watson. Classic game of the Aussie rules football. Adelaide now go to 16-5, and they're not quite shored up the top 2 spot yet, but they're very, very close. And the Hawks have got a battle on their hands just to make the 8.
That's some sort of win for the Adelaide Crows.
No, challenged 3 times, weren't they?
So
really,
when you've got a team that bangs on, a handful of goals in the first quarter, plays their best footy of the season, and they respond the way they did, and then Hawthorn come back in the third quarter and take the lead back, you think, how many momentum changes do you want to see before you go, these guys are good, we can't go with them? And then in the last quarter, Hawks hit the front again.
Bit of Rankin magic.
Yeah.
And Walker magic.
Talent by foot.
Yeah.
Bit of umpire magic with the touched one as well. That'll get talked about. That was so bizarre. But the right team won. For more of the game, they were in control of the contested possession side of footy. They made the ball look like it had better opportunities for the forwards when they went inside there. So, the right team won in the end, and a tremendous display by both teams. And the Crows franked. In fact, I'm not too sure whether there's too many teams in the comp who you say would confidently beat either of these teams tonight. So, it's a massive win. Hawks will have to lick their wounds. They went close. Got no cigar.
Collingwood in 6 days' time at the MCG. Thursday night football.
Yeah, so they're another team which Hawthorn matches up well against. They match up well against Adelaide. So it's funny how the laws of probability work. You play this two good teams who were similarly placed on the ladder, come away from the season, meeting twice, 1 win each. It really does. Are you good enough to beat that team? Are you that much better than them that you beat that team 2 times in the one fixture?
And next week, Adelaide make the trek to Perth. They take on the West Coast Eagles.
So that'll be a tough one.
There's 4 points for the Adelaide Crows. So they're just about guaranteed, if not certainly a double chance. But you want the top 2 spot, don't you, to get those 2 home finals?
Absolutely. I mean, and for a team like Adelaide, the big impost on the Adelaide Crows is if they're playing in Victoria, they've got to play it at the MCG. We know that it's the best venue in Australia, but they have to come to Victoria to win. But by finishing in the position on the ladder where you are guaranteed of home finals gives you a much better chance of getting through to that through to that MCG grand final. And they were awesome tonight.
So Derm, from a Hawthorn point of view, do they go back to Melbourne disappointed, or do they go back thinking, well, if Adelaide are the yardstick or one of the yardsticks, we've taken it right up to them, we're going okay?
It's the same sort of thing you tell yourself when you beat or get beaten by a team who's in the same neck of the woods as you in terms of on the ladder, striving for the same position on the ladder at this time of the year. It comes down to moments. It comes down to great moments. If Dawson doesn't slip out in the second quarter and kick those 2 goals to get the Crows back into it, if Rankin's 2 miraculous snaps that find the mark don't go in, they're bonus goals. So they're low percentage goals. It's funny, great players turn them into kind of semi-regularly done percentage goals, aren't they? They get that done so often. And at the other end, and not having to go with the kid Massimo D'Ambrosio, but he had 2 kicks tonight, set shots. One was a dead set, lay down was there, 18 metres out, directly in front, and he walks to the kick. The only worst kick I've seen, set shot in terms of action, was Jed Walter earlier this year, where he shanked that one from a similar distance.
But you just can't miss those goals at this level with that amount of skill, 15, 20 metres out.
You know what? I guarantee you, if you got one of his teammates to run up the aisle and sit in a seat behind and say, kick it to me, and the goals happens to be in between, he'd spear him lace out. Some blokes get a bit weirded out when they kick a goal. And some are great.
Even the greatest champions miss goals from that. It's just one of those things. It happens. It happens.
I mean, the reason I asked the question is when you look at Hawthorn's draw compared to some of the other teams that are fighting for a spot in the 8, they've got the tough one.
Oh yeah, they're no certainty to make the 8.
Absolutely not. No. So are they going well enough to be able to knock off Collingwood next week or Brisbane in Brisbane?
Yes, yeah, they are. They can. Will they? Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know. Let's see a Collingwood front, but I think Collingwood are turning for home now and putting their best side out on the field every week now. The thing is, it's great that Hawthorn have this tough run home because if they make it, they've knocked off somebody else who is a worthy adversary. So they deserve to be
there. If they don't knock them off, they don't deserve to be there anyway.
They are the position on the ladder they finish.
Correct.
Yeah. But, I think they played really well tonight. They got a few moments wrong. They got a few things wrong. They lost the handle in that second quarter. If they control that second quarter, somehow put a little bit of a grip on that second quarter, things could be different. But the Adelaide, take nothing away from the Crows. Their second quarter and the bravery from the coaching office as well, the office of the coaches of the Adelaide Crows to say, Will Day's off the chain. He made those 5 goals happen. They were +9 for clearances. He had 6 of them. And they say, no, let's stick with our structure. Let's keep running Berry with Newcomb, and we run Dawson head-to-head. We reckon Dawson will have his moment. He had his moment all right in the second quarter. He was fantastic, and he was the one who changed momentum in that second quarter.
Yeah, it's a really interesting lead into the season because you've got teams, quarters in the bottom half of the 8 that have got the really easy run.
Well, that's right. Well, Freo will surpass Hawthorn when they win this weekend. Giants lost, of course. The Bulldogs won. So there's still a bit of breathing space for Hawthorn, but they've got to beat Melbourne, and they've got to beat, I would say, all things being equal, they've got to beat either Collingwood or Brisbane.
I 100% agree with you. Yep.
There will be upsets.
Of course,
I mean, last night I thought that was an upset.
Yeah, they could theoretically make it just beating Melbourne, but, you want to have your fate in your own hands.
You need to rely on another team.
Correct.
To slip up.
Correct.
That's the way.
Correct. Put it this way. Teams who've relied on others to get them into the finals, how deep do they go?
First week, goodbye.
Yeah.
That's why I hate the wild card.
Correct.
It's a waste of time.
Of course it is.
Just rewarding mediocrity.
Of course it is.
Just money-making exercise, that's all it is.
Oh, welcome to the AFL.
Yes. Now, that is 100%. That's the most accurate thing you've said tonight.
Well, thanks, Quarters. Have you seen their staff? Imagine their bill each week. It's incredible.
We're the mighty Adelaide Crows. We're greater, stronger, faster, and respected by our foes. Admiration of the nation, and determination to we're the pride of South Australia. We're the mighty Adelaide Crows.
Well, there you go. Adelaide,
great game. What a great game.
What a super game. Adelaide deserved the win. They were awesome after quarter time.
Yes, they were. So we might as well hear from Taylor Walker because he did chat to Channel 7 immediately after the game. Those clutch goals late in the match from out.